Hey everyone, welcome to POPXP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the POPXP channel. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Scallowed POPXP, and joining me tonight is the teen sensation, Mr. Tucci, who's about to break legendary in the crowdfunding, seeing $446 away from 200K.
What? If we do,
man,
I hope
insane.
we do. And then, because Debbie's like, can we please close this campaign? And she got like 80 new backers or 88 new backers in the past like 24 hours.
Nice.
That's crazy.
She's like, well, I'm not fulfilling them until Thursday because I have to build this campaign. She yelled at me.
You better hurry up or she's going to fulfill you with divorce papers, bro.
Oh,
Come on.
shit,
Come on.
Where are you going to go, man? I'm a teen sensation.
I don't know. Blevins Angelo is a sweet looking dude.
Oh, look at this.
Councilman, right?
Billy, you ever seen a turtle get downed? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Shoot.
I have seen the turtle get down, dude. Come on, man.
Little ninja rap. What?
What? We got to get Ben. We should have asked Ben Garant to come on.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Call him.
We'll talk to Kevin about that.
Yes.
Call him real quick and bring him on.
Yeah, call him up. Bring him on. You know?
But
Mr.
Kevin,
Blevins,
so
thanks for
quick.
coming tonight. Guys, tonight is a great night. We have a returning guest. I mean, who can say? How many people out there can say that, you know, two creators they look up to so much are going to be sharing the screen tonight? I mean, I'm pumped for this, and I'm thrilled. He actually came back. He came back, everyone, so we're not that bad. And we're going to be talking an amazing book that has just came out a couple weeks ago, and that's The Last Ronin. Without further ado, everyone, please let me welcome Kevin Eastman back to the show.
Right.
Kevin, how are you?
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back. Nice to be here with you all again.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we're so happy, man, that you came back on. And we have to say, we've all read it more than once. The Last Ronin is a masterpiece, dude. Script, visual, concept. I mean, it's next level.
Action. That's what comics is supposed to be. This is
Yes.
what comics is supposed to be. And it's just the first issue.
Well, thanks. You know, it's like, you know, I always look at it in, you know, as the artists that we all are, all we see when we look back at some of the work we've done is, you know, actor trailer, truck size plot holes and, you know, stuff you should have done. And if I moved that thing there in this panel, it would have been. But it was such a fun project to get back together with Tom to do something different than, you know, we spent a good part of the last 10 years working on 100 issues of the Turtles. So when that came out in December of last year, was like, what? And I just want to point out that, you know, I'm Tom Walsh's biggest fan, and he wrote all 100 of those issues. You know, it takes a village, as you all know, but, you know, at the end of the day, he's the guy. But yeah, when he discovered the story that, well, I had this story that Pete and I wrote in 1987, which was set 30 years in the future, which by the time we were looking what we wanted to do after issue 100, this was already, you know, almost 2 years past when it was set. So we took this outline that Peter and I had done, was about 20 pages, had basically a beginning, middle, and end, and a structure, and adapted it, and want to take it all the way home for the sake of all things Turtles. And you know, well, you know, it actually goes back to, most of the story goes back to it's solidly rooted in issue number 1 of the Turtles, and that's an important part of the plot. And we've only got 160 pages left to go.
There you go. Now I have to ask. I mean, so we've gotten the taste. We've read the first issue. We love the first issue. This is a 5-part series, 5-issue series. I mean, when can we expect issue 2?
Well, we actually we'd hope to have it by the 3rd week in December. And this year, as we all know, it's just been crazy. You know, that goes unsaid almost, but we actually had started out the year with different artists on the series. You know, Andy, the awesome and incredible Andy Kuhn, love the guy, really dig his artwork. And for a number of personal reasons, he just needed to step away from the project. But we'd already, by the time we arrived at that, we were already 5 months behind in it. And it took us another month or two to reach out to find another art team that could help capture what I was looking for. Because I still, Tom and I are writing them, but we're doing it sort of old school, like almost how Peter and I used to write, is trading notes back and forth. And then when I do the actual layouts, a lot of the story evolves almost Marvel style, if you will, and what they call Marvel style. And so the story is kind of evolving. And I had worked with Esau and Isaac at Scorza at Heavy Metal, and I reached out and really thought they'd do a bang-up job, and I didn't even know if they would be available. Fortunately, they were. They came on board. So we unfortunately I think the book issue 1 went to press on a Monday, and we finished the last page at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, and it went off to press the next day. So we sort of were really behind the gun from the start. So we pushed the second issue to early January, just so that we can make sure it's as perfect as we want it to be. But I was over there working on it before I got on the call with you. You know how it goes. We're like, so then it'll be, but we're getting up to speed and we're getting a bit ahead on this stuff. So it'll be bi-monthly. So when issue 2 comes out in January, then we'll be right on track for the rest of the year, for the rest of the remaining 3 years. So.
It's very reminiscent of like the Old Man Logan story that they told in the Wolverine storyline, where you're in the future, you don't know what's going on, and then like all these things are popping up, and you're kind of getting blown away about how you got to that point. Is all of that, you plan to have all of that fleshed out in this series?
Yeah, we have Tom and I, we set a very specific course, and we spent about a year just sort of writing and nuancing and putting all the pieces that we wanted to show and how we wanted to show them in each of the 5 issues. And that was what we wanted, because it basically it picks items from different Turtle universes, but obviously 80% of it's all set in the Mirage universe, the Mirage Studios universe, because it's solidly based in, when Splinter found the Turtles and then trained them, it was for vengeance. He trained them to kill Oroku Saki, and that's been almost the foundation of every iteration of the Turtles throughout. And so we're going, all Dark Knight and Old Man Logan and all that stuff. We're going to, 30 years plus down the road, and a lot of stuff's happened. And it's going back to that singular mission that Splinter teed up in issue 1. And that's, it's quite a journey, how they get there, but it was definitely intentional. And, and that was, the inspiration when, leaning on a book like Dark Knight and those kinds of stories was, I like that, when we all love, Batman is a legendary character. There's so many different versions of it, and you see different versions in different places and time spaces. But when the Dark Knight was done, I felt it was just done with respect to everything Batman, but disregard to everything continuity-wise that had been done before. And so that's what we really wanted to do in our approach to this. And we'd asked specifically that the stories be 40 pages long, like the original Mirage books, that it be oversized, like the original Mirage books. I just want to do these. I want enough space to do these insane set pieces, these fight sequences, like I used to do in the Mirage days. And that was what, as you mentioned earlier, that's what, when we started on issue 1, I said I want the issue to be literally one a fight scene from beginning to end of all 4 pages.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, dude, it's like,
yeah.
That's it. It's like what comics are supposed to be about. It's just like right in the beginning, it's just like, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but
don't spoil it. But oh my god, we want to talk, man. We should, man.
I mean, it's not really spoiling. It's not even spoiling.
Hang out the bar with you,
right? But I mean, like, just in that the first page when it's like, you shouldn't go through there, and it's just like, it's like the most toxic thing, and it's just like just trudging through, like they just focused in, like just heading. You're heading towards that action. I mean, it's just it's incredible, and right here. Sorry for anyone that's not seen it, but this is an interview. But I mean, just right here, this page right here just set the tone for me. I'm like, all right, I'm in, and I was in for this, and just the artwork, the design you guys did, Kevin. If you don't mind me asking, I mean, now how is the structure of this book done? I know you're back at the table working on it. Are you doing layouts? You doing pencils? What how are you guys putting this book together?
It's basically that. It's like Tom and I will talk about the story, and we have the structure, what we want to do in each issue, and for the full arc. But then I do all the layouts, which is pretty much, for the most part, almost exactly what Peter and I used to do. Is because to me it's like and I'm stating something. When you do layouts, that's when you sort of figure out the pacing, and you figure out the page, and you figure out if things change and stuff comes up as you're moving through, and that's why. And Tom was, which was interesting because Tom's so used to writing very specific scripts for some of the fantastic artists that we worked on in the ongoing series. But this is sort of both of us taking turns driving. We're driving across country and we're taking turns at the wheel for the most part. So I'll do the layouts and then we'll adjust the story as we move ahead through each issue. So they're tight layouts, and then the artwork that you posted, that's the Scorza brothers. I sent it off to them and they adapt it, and I said, look, if you've got a better idea and you can make any of the panels stronger and you can do anything better than what I put down, then don't be shy. It's not my intent to stifle you. I respect you guys as artists, and I want you to bring your A game and let me know if I'm doing something stupid, if it doesn't make sense. So
what I love about it is a couple of things. Is that it's like you've come full circle with this book. From the beginning, from your roots, and what's one of the wonderful parts about how you're doing it is that what always made your books stand out. I mean, amazing. Amazing run. Some great turtle comics, but there's nothing quite like your storytelling. Obviously, because you are the original. And that's what I loved about this book, is not only that it was nonstop action, and you didn't have, like we see in so many books today, you've got 32 pages, 40 pages of people sitting around a desk talking, especially some of the, the Marvel books and all. But I love it's just very classic Turtles, very, like I said, you talk about Frank Miller, with the Dark Knight, the Daredevil stuff, all that brought me back to, being in college and just like, what is going on here? And it was a real, again, the joy of that with you doing those, you see your mark all over it with your layouts, because again, no one can tell the turtle story quite like you. And that's what it feels like, the old books, and nothing against any of the other books. There's some amazing issues, amazing classic issues, some of the greatest in comics history. But man, when your books and your art, it just, and your passion, right, guys? It just bleeds right through. And it was, oh man, what a breath of fresh air to read it. Depressing as hell, it's so sad, because you get to love these, the turtles.
Well, the scene again, that's, I don't want to spoil it for everyone. This is so hard, right?
Spoil it.
There's a scene that just gets you.
Yeah.
And they're riding the elephants across the thing.
Yes, with the elephants, and then that turkey vulture, the mutated turkey vulture comes down.
Dude, that was sick.
And he says, he's like, "You have any Grey Poupon?"
Yeah. And who knew that that's how things were going to go down?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I guess
we got Dan Fraga in the house. Billy speaks truth. Agreed.
Well, also what I loved about that you have the voices is that, like, from the very beginning, they're talking, they're all talking, and it's almost like you don't see them, obviously, but you're now on that journey with them. You're going along with him as he wades through that toxic water, the toxic sea or the river, you know what I mean? All that. And it's just, oh my God, it's just, you're just like,
Kevin, let me ask you, with this book though, there are some powerful scenes in it. Like, if you really break it down, there's some really powerful moments. Ones where maybe someone's own life is taken or something of that nature. Writing this compared to where you've been, did this feel, did this rejuvenate anything in you? Like, really taking this story arc that really hasn't been done before with your characters?
Well, it's a really good question, and it's difficult to answer only in that Turtles are now 36 plus years old, and there's been so many amazing stories from different animated series and movies, and that just literally rolling off 100 issues of the Turtles ongoing, which, was so fantastic and energizing, because, really loved Tom's style of storytelling and the foundation and the structure we set up for that series. But the artists, man, these kids are half my age and they draw circles around me all day long, and I love it. It's really something, and it's tough because it's just funny because when Billy was saying some really nice things a little bit ago, all I could think of was the shoulders the giants I stand on, we all stand on, that inspired us to draw, and I stole my entire career from Jack Kirby and Frank Miller. And so because I would always somebody would say, "Oh, I love how you paste this and how you laid this bit out," and I said, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I needed it to fit on this page, and so I made it fit on the page before we could turn it to the next page. So the style is it is what it is. But going to this story, I feel like this post-apocalyptic has been dipped into in different versions, but this to me is based on something that Pete and I wrote again almost 32 years ago, and it was at a time when we just finished issue 11, and it completed quite a sizable arc in for the Mirage series, and we were trying to figure out where to go from here, and we had this idea, well, let's look 30 years down the road and see where they could possibly end up, and then we could sort of navigate a path that way. Not long after, that's where the toys started evolving and the cartoons and all that stuff, and so we never get a chance to revisit it. So to me, it's literally going back and mining something that Peter and I did together a long time ago, and Tom and I are adapting it. Yes, we're updating it and adapting it, but the core structure is all there. So it's going right back into that mode, that how I'd pace a story in those Mirage years, because that's all I know. So, and that's what's pretty exciting, and it's scary because it is sort of like I'm really excited about the story, and I can't wait for you guys to see where it's going. And I'm just stopping myself because I want to go and then initiative.
Let me ask a crazy two questions. Like I've watched all the interviews that I've seen you on talking about the Last Ronin. Definitely, you hyped the Last Ronin. I mean, it was hyped from the get go, and I mean, ending an already crazy year 2020 with this incredible book. I mean, bravo! I mean, absolutely hottest books of the year. I mean, it's even difficult
sold out.
A second. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's so hard to find the book now. Like I haven't been able to find it. And I go everywhere looking for it. But I guess I have two questions for you. Number one, with the hype of the mystery of who is the Last Ronin, you had this huge mystery, and that's where a lot of the hype and the buildup came from. Like, where you had this great premise to be like, okay, who is it? That's who is the mystery? Like, number one, why, what was the reason for you to reveal who the Last Ronin was in the first book instead of milking it for the rest of the books? And also, like, as a creator, like, how hard was it for you to choose?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
How hard was it for you to choose which?
Great question, Blevins. Great question.
I stuttered a little bit because I love this property. I grew up watching the Turtles and everything, but I mean, like, really, like, how hard was it for you to choose? And did you make the decision on your own, or did you actually speak to Peter as well, and y'all came together with the idea, or was it just the other? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let him answer.
Right.
Give him a chance.
Well, originally, it was going to be April as the Last Ronin. No, no, it was never. I had decided from word go it was going to be Michelangelo. It was for a number of reasons. It was sort of the first turtle ever drawn. So it's one of those at a convention people say, well, who's your favorite turtle? And you go, well, I love them all. As one of the co-parents. And they said, well, you had to choose one. Who would it be? And I said, well, I guess I would lean towards Michelangelo just because he was first born. But then as a storytelling device, and when I told Tom, I said, basically, Tom, I wanted to be Michelangelo, and this is why he was kind of on board from the word go, because he said that makes so much sense, because you think of Michelangelo as a character and what you're used to seeing Michelangelo as a character in many of the different versions, kind of laid back, lighthearted, sort of the humorous one, and all that. To introduce it at the end of issue 1 was, so you're already going like, holy shit, he's the funny one. He's, how did the sweetest or the most likable turtle, why isn't Raphael? Why isn't Leonardo? It's like, and the story arc that we're going to tell, it's important that he's the one for all the reasons that he's the one, because you already like him, you already feel bad for him, you're invested in his character and his personality, and you want to find out how this all came to be. But yeah, there was never a second guess, and there was never,
there was never it was going to be anybody else. It was always.
And I love, because it was something Tom and I, we did actually talk a little bit about it as we were getting up to the end of issue 1, was should we hold on to it for another issue, and we felt the same thing, that if the last line in issue 1 is Michelangelo, and again, spoilers, I'm sorry for people who haven't read it, I guess it's out there enough now, but the thing is that you're already like, what? You're vested, and we've got you right where we want you, and you're already sympathetic, and you've got all those emotions going. So when we take you to what we're going to reveal in the next couple issues, it'll make sense, and it was important that we let the secret out at the end of issue 1.
Yeah, no, it was a great ending. I mean, it does have. Me personally, I'm really excited for issue 2 and then beyond, just to see how this story continues. So, kudos to you guys with that. It's a great book. It really is.
Yeah. Going into it knowing that you're going to kill 3 of your creations is, I mean, it's got to be rough.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, we stop.
I do got to say, you mentioned Jack Kirby, right? And Jack Kirby will live on forever. But I got to tell you, man, with what you guys done with Ninja Turtles, like, I'd say you've definitely reached that goal, for the person you aspired that you always wanted to be. Because, I mean, Kevin Eastman's name will now live on forever. The Turtles is a property that, as if I was born in 1984 with this book, we were in the same hospital together. And, I got to say, though, one thing that's really cool about what you've done is you've given, fans of my generation, right? You actually gave us a property that we grew up with that we could keep interest with. And like The Last Ronin is great because as an adult now, you're really, really feeding more, to I would say to really what I like to watch and what I like to see. And you've been able to capture that. So throughout my 36 years on this planet, I've always had Ninja Turtles, which is really kind of crazy if you think about it. And I have to say, like you said, you talk about, you always talk about Jack Kirby and how he inspired you, and that's, who you wanted to be. And man, you've done it. I just wanted to say that to you. You've done that and more. Yeah. I mean, way freaking more.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration of a new generation of people. Like, again, I mean, well done.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a new master now.
Well, you guys are all obviously intoxicated, but thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I do deeply and sincerely appreciate the compliment, because it's one of those things that since I was 9 or 10, the day I told my parents I'm going to be Jack Kirby when I grew up, that they had this mortified look. Back in those days, it was like, oh, we're going to have one of those kids that never moves out of the basement kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been tough because I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys about the fans showing the love and the support that they have with the Turtles and even the bad versions and all the different versions of the Turtles, and which has been so much fun to stage Last Ronin for the original fans, like you said, that grew up with it. But I just remember, I've had some of the artists that I've worked with on IDW ongoing series. Like I said, they're half my age and they draw better than I do. And they would come up and they'd say, you're the reason I started drawing comics. And I'm like, what? Because that's the same thing. I said to Kirby, I'm sure, Billy's been there. We've all been there. We've had these people that we've idolized, and we're like, you're the reason I'm doing this. And so you can never put yourself into that, 9-year-old child saying those things to Jack Kirby. And I got the chance to say those things to, basically barely spit the words out. And Jack was just like, kid, just keep on drawing. You can just have a good time with it. Just stick with it.
Did you ever get to hang with him, to hang out with Kirby, like go dinner or anything like that? Or
Roz was kind enough to one year, and Jack was not really drawing by then. Roz invited us to come up. She goes, "Oh, if you're ever up in LA, it's Thousand Oaks, Sherman Oaks, come by the house." And it was just one of those like, really? Can we?
I'm taking the car now.
And so we went, and he said, "Yeah, okay, we'll come up," and called, and then he gave us the tour, and we got to sit at his drawing table and stuff, and it was like
crazy.
I was like, I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. It was like the crazy.
I got goosebumps about you get goosebumps.
But no, he was the guy, and it is, it's that's probably for all of us this year, especially that keeping a family safe and making sure when we get back out to conventions, whether it be next year or however soon we can. But that's one of the things that I dearly missed this year the most. We usually do about 15 to 20 shows, and it's going out and seeing the fans and seeing some of our friends like you guys, and that's really the camaraderie. Because otherwise, like, I'm looking at all your spaces and you're seeing my space, and otherwise, this is where we are.
Yeah. Well, I find him inspiring. I assume it if we were at a show together and we're at the bar, and I'm just thinking of we go to a restaurant or something, or sitting in a booth. And then I would just, I don't know, put enough in you to try to pull some more out, because what I would never tell anyone. But I know when we were talking before the pre-show, when you're all excited and you just want to, you want to tell this story, and you get goosebumps yourself telling it, and you're like, ah.
And I'm getting all like, Billy definitely gets crazy about wanting to tell his stories.
I do.
I'm like, don't tell me, Billy. Don't tell me.
Well, it's it's hard because we all know we work a couple issues ahead, and that was always one of those things that we'd go to conventions, and I had to remind myself before we went up to do a panel or something. I was like, which issue's on the stand right now, because we've already done 2 or 3 issues past it, and you don't want to give it any spoilers.
Well, I have another question that it doesn't have to do with Last Ronin, but it does have to do with Turtles. Did you have any input or say so, or what was the story behind bringing Tokka and Razor into canon?
Well, Tokka and Razor were, when we did it, when we introduced the characters for the second film, he wanted Bebop and Rocksteady, and then it was one of those that everybody was like, well, can we expand the Turtle universe in some way, and how about it would be great and exciting for the fans to say, well, let's create some new bad guys that we can bring in. Hindsight is always 20/20, and I wish we stuck with Bebop and Rocksteady, but because that was a lot of fans went like, well, why didn't they do Bebop and Rocksteady? All the fans wanted to see him instead of some new characters, but that was the growing and expanding Turtle universe. It was always fun to create new characters, and some worked and some didn't. Venus and Milo didn't work when it first came out, and that series, the live action series, we introduced Jenica as a female turtle in issue 95 of the ongoing series. It was thought out the way it should have been, and it was revealed the way it should have been, and it was received well. So we were pretty happy.
Super well received.
Yeah. Now it's we asked you to come on for about 30 minutes, so our time is pretty much up. But I'd love to just, if you don't mind, one question. It's just kind of going big. A couple people asked in the chat. Will we see anything more with Drawing Blood?
Yes, and thanks for asking. Drawing Blood is, it's one of those stories of a lifetime. It's so weirdly meta, and it's funny because people said, well, it's autobiographical, right? And it's like, well, no, probably 20-25% is sort of that. There's a foundation and structure from that, but so much more of it is from those hotel bars after a comic convention when you're sitting around with some of your buddies swapping horror stories about publishers or Hollywood and fan experiences and so many different things that when I started evolving the idea of Drawing Blood, I wanted to be kind of a Spinal Tap kind of thing, sort of set in the world of comic books. The creator, like everything we know about comic books is there. Jack Kirby's there. I exist in that world. Billy, we all exist in that world. And then I just never got the full grasp of what I wanted to do with it as a story until I started working with David Avalone, and David is officially the co-creator because we really sort of mind melded and created that universe. So the first Kickstarter was the first 4 issues plus the radically rearranged Ronin Ragdoll's one shot, and we did the second Kickstarter in 2019, and that's issues 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then a 2-part Ragdoll story, and then we've got the whole story arc that we originally wrote and envisioned was 12 issues. So it's just been the year's been. Been challenging. So we're almost done with the second part, and we can't wait to get it out because you guys are gonna, the fans and everybody that's a fan of Drawing Blood is gonna flip. It's got some really great stuff in there, and then we're to wrapping up of the series is the way we want to tell it. So, but yeah, I love that story. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's awesome. Do you have any other things are you going to work on anything after that? Do you have lined up any other, because that you guys crowdfunded. Are you going to continue doing some crowdfunding stuff?
I'm going to do, we'll probably look to crowdfund just the last 4 issues, because it really does help because, David Avalone, the co-creator, he's, he writes stuff for Dynamite. We're all doing the other jobs while we pay ourselves. Want enough to get the book done and out, and then Ben Bishop is the series artist, who's absolutely fantastic. I actually brought him in to do some specific scenes in the Last Ronin, and then you guys know Troy Little. He's done the Ragdoll stuff, and Troy Little is just the absolute shit. He's just awesome. He's so great. Great. But no, other than that, I just finished a 10-page Conan story, which was. I'm trying not to insult myself too badly here. I did a 10-page Conan story. My friend Mark at Marvel invited me to do it, and then so you go back like you want to do all the Barry Smith stuff and all this stuff. Yeah. Working it, and then this, just about it was so critical. By the end, I was just going to tear up all the pages and just burn them, and then go hide them.
Oh, jeez. Oh no.
But it was because the pictures you see in your mind to what you put on the page. So.
I know it drives you crazy.
Go today, fans.
Yeah. Kevin, would you mind me asking you, with the big news that came out about DC, that they had basically, another bloodbath over there, firing a lot of their senior editorial and all. What do you think about the state of mainstream comics in the direct market?
It's very concerning in a huge number of ways, because I think without the direct market, we never would have done so many of the things. The Turtles just never would have been an option or possibility without that. So many books that we loved, and as we all grown into comic books and expanded comics, it's concerning as I look at it in a lot of different ways. I mean, I've got a 14-year-old son who loves the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he just loves, the superheroes, and he loves this stuff, but he's not read one single comic, He talk about, I remember he went with a buddy of his, and they watched Endgame, and I hadn't seen it yet, and so he came back, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to give you any spoilers. Oh, I don't want to do this," and I was like, there's nothing you could tell me that was we had multiple versions of it. We've all read all the comics, all the. He
Yeah.
said, Thanos this, and I go, here's all the original Thanos stuff. You should read this. This is really awesome. And he's like, no. But so no, it is quite worrisome, and we've got a lot of friends that own comic stores, and I feel like it's interesting because again, we mentioned conventions a little while ago, and what was interesting, over the last 6 or 7 years, Courtney and I have been doing shows. Most of the shows we were going to, in some cases the repeat ones, the attendance was increasing every year. There were lots of people going to shows and these celebration of this pop culture event, and they're there for whether Star Trek or Star Wars or Marvel, all the whatever the reasons you're there, they're all there to celebrate. But it doesn't always reflect in sales for our neighborhood comic store, which was that was the happiest place on earth for me growing up.
I have a fear that your son is like my son, and how they feel that because of the movies that they have out there, and they love it. It's like it's a big event for them. They go to the movies, they go with their friends, the whole thing, and they know all about the characters. And like your son was saying, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they don't seem to have a desire to want to read the actual books. And my son is the same way. And my biggest fear is that AT&T and Disney feel the same way, that we don't need the floppies if the films are doing so well. That's what's really terrifying. I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's and again, it's. I mean, how many times have we heard that the comic industry is dying?
Yep.
So you got to have faith, and I guess maybe it's just this year, that you just you can get very melancholy about the whole thing. But it on the other hand, it's great for indies. We're doing great. I think people are discovering indies in ways that they never had and never even considered. With crowdfunding, and a lot of the stores now are being more embracing of the indies. I think a lot of it had to do with what DC did with their own distribution, which a lot of retailers, that's really hurt a lot of retailers.
Yeah. Well, if you take the big two out of it, then you still have other publishers out there, IDW, Boom, Dynamite. I mean, there's still some really good books that are going out. I just think the big two are so big, and now they're owned by just complete conglomerates. Disney alone. What are you going to do with that? They're just outright buying everybody.
It's
funny, at least the films are good. Unfortunately, it's kind of an evolution, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. It made me think of, and I hadn't thought of it in a while. And it was one year San Diego, and I can't remember which one. I've been to like 30, except for this year, 35 or 36 of them. But I remember Will Eisner gave this keynote speech at one of the events, and he was talking about, at that time there was reflecting on he's seen the comic industry die 6 times, and he said, here we are at we survived black and white boom and bust, and then it was around the time that Image, I remember when Image wouldn't even print a book if sales, if they didn't have orders for at least 1 million copies. And he was saying that he said even this year everybody's sort of kind of down in the dumps, and what's going on, are we going to survive? And this had to be at least 15 plus years ago anyway. But he said I hear people saying, oh, this is it, the comic industry's over, and the other thing they're complaining about is how crowded the aisles are at San Diego.
Yeah
It's over for us, but look at it, get all these people out of the way. It's so so it's with great optimism and hope that that we can keep those shops that are out there and doing it right and supporting us. And like you said, between the crowdfunding, I've seen some comic stores even doing some crowdfunding and self-publishing, and then that's what's been supporting. Drawing Blood. Took me back. The last time I crowdfunded before Drawing Blood was my uncle Quentin gave us $1,200 to print Turtles issue 1, and so when we're back to do Drawing Blood, it's like we have a creation that is exactly as David and I designed and want to tell a story, and it's paced and sold and told, and we own all the rights to it, and God bless those fans that stepped up and made that possible. And Billy, you got to you're $446 away from yours, so hopefully you've crossed that tonight. And that's our future. But again, we have comic stores that we can support.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Back to comeback. That's all,
There you
for everyone's sake, really.
Back to comeback. I like that.
Indeed. So
There you go. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We and we did go over our 30 minutes, and we appreciate that as well. If you get anything else going on, you know, be willing to come back on. We'd always love to have you to chat.
Thanks. I say, yeah, let's once we get the second issue out or heading towards the third, let's definitely please have me back, and you can give me your report card. Let me know if we blew it or if we're still doing all right.
Oh, we'd love to do that. And I said I should call Ben Garant, who is one of the creative. He's one of the screenwriters of Night at the Museum. He, Reno 911, and I don't know if you know Ben or if you know this, but he out of NYU when he graduated, got from the state that their show, The State, which was their stage act, which was their comedy troupe. He got to become a turtle, and is that what he was a turtle?
Yeah, they were promoting. So him and I don't know if you know these guys. The State was on MTV. They had their show and stuff. But while they were doing
911, he
was
the mustache,
in the bulletproof vest and whatnot. And well, anyways, he was when they were doing the concert tours. He was one of the turtles, that would do the promotion. He was a promotional turtle. So they would go and they would do all the gigs and they would go to the events and things and promote the concerts and stuff. Him and who's the other? I can't remember the other comedian.
I don't remember who he said. Was it Ian Black? Michael Ian Black, maybe?
Michael Ian Black, yes.
Yeah,
so and he were the turtles. Yes.
And all their friends, that they all went to NYU with and stuff, and they created The State, and it just starts picking up and it's starting to get traction, and they leave and like Tom Lennon, and they're all jealous of him. They're pissed off at him. It's great.
They were making money. They were
making money. Who made money out of college? No one made money after you graduated school. We were all poor. It's dirt,
They were going to huts, right? They were going
on tour, traveling the United States. Yeah. It's a great story when he tells it.
Yeah.
So get him to pop on and maybe you could even call Michael Ian Black to join too, because I think they would. I know they would get a huge kick out of talking to you. So.
All right, Kevin. Thanks again. Great work with The Last Ronin. Looking forward to the next issues.
Thanks for all the kind words. Thanks for the support. Take care of yourself.
And look at this. Look at this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the greatest creations ever. Comics, animated series, toys, everything about it is just fun and creative. Thank you, Kevin, for creating something me and my friends love to this day.
Thank you so much.
I think that says it.
That's the best.
Says it all.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. Have a great night, and thanks again for chatting with us.
My pleasure, guys. You guys take care. Hope to see you again soon.
Good to see my friends. Stay safe.
You as well. Cheers.
California, we said hi.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
What?
Great
Incredible. How awesome was that?
I know.
He's still backstage. Look.
Yeah. He's like, how do we get out of here? I gotta tell you though. For such a property and everything, just a humble man. Just a humble creator. Just doing what he does. I mean, you can't get any better than that. That's what's great. You get to meet these people that you've idolized.
Yeah.
And especially when they're good people. Sometimes they say you never don't meet the people you idolize, or what's the saying? I forget.
Yeah.
But,
never meet your
idol. Never meet your idol. But I gotta tell you, and same with even with Bill, he's done great things, but just down to earth. You can't go wrong.
Well, you could meet some of these, and I don't know how many shows you go to, but we end up going to at the conventions, and I guess because I'm sort of in the club, and we'll go out to dinner, and you'll have some writer who's writing a big two book, a D-list book, a C-list book that's selling maybe 7,000 copies. Some young writer in their 20s or something like that, early 30s, and they have the most cocky, arrogant SOBs, little shits you've ever seen in your life. And, they just think their shit doesn't stink, and they're just so full of themselves and that they know so much more than anyone else. They want to change comics. That's their big thing, is they want to change comics.
Yeah.
And then you get someone like Kevin, who's a god in comic, a god who's changed. How many lives has he changed? I got my neighbor next door across the street, and his son is 6 years old or 7 years old now. And he's been Michelangelo for the past 3 years.
Mhm.
You know, and he's just a turtle nut. So Matthew, I'm like, Matthew, give him those turtle toys. And Matthew doesn't want to give him the toys.
I still have my turtle toys. It was we actually had my wife's friend came over, and we had when we had that huge storm. Remember we had the huge storm, Billy. You were out for power and whatnot, and all of us here in the Northeast were out of power. So they stayed with us for a while, like during the day and stuff, because they didn't have power. I was looking like, oh, this kid, I got all these toys and things. Next thing, I'm giving him like collectible Spider-Man figures and stuff I've had for years. I'm looking at my old beat up turtles and I'm like, you guys aren't going anywhere.
You ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. I'm like taking stuff out of the package. Like, you know what? I'm never going to do anything with this. Here, kid, you like Spider-Man? Take it. Get it out of here.
If you find any toys like that, just send them to me. I'll make sure they go to somebody. I promise.
Well, my friend Scott Lamke, who bought all the original toys for his son, when his son was little, 89, 88, whenever the toys came out in 1990, and he gave us all of those.
Yeah.
Mitch is trying to come in.
Yeah, he was trying to get in he's having technical difficulties. I don't know. I'm not sure his device.
I will wait for him. But please, Mitch, if you can make it work, please do. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, hop on.
But so Matthew's got a big collection of all the original turtle toys. And I'm like, Debbie's like,
we got them. What, Mitch?
Yeah, better late than never.
There you go.
You missed the great one.
I missed everything. The computer didn't want to work, and it finally kicked in at 10 of 10. I'm like, well, whatever. I'm here.
Well, we're glad to see you, my friend.
Did I miss all the fun?
Yes. Yes. We're talking about now my son. So my son has turtle toys that we've bought him. Mm-hmm. Now he's 14, so he doesn't want to play with the toys anymore. But we have a friend of ours who's older than us who bought in 1990 when his son was born, 1990, 92, whatever. He bought, or 80, the late 80s into the 90s. He bought all the original turtle toys.
Right.
100 of them or so, maybe more. Okay. And he gave them all to Matthew. So our neighbor across the street, his son is 7 years old, and he's a turtle nut. I was saying he's been Michelangelo for the past 3 Halloweens.
Yep.
So Debbie's like, give him some toys. So Matthew's giving him toys, giving him some of his Batman toys, like Niall, your story, giving him some toys, some of his Marvel stuff, And there's 2 things he doesn't want to give him. One is the Darwin Cook New Frontier action figures, because Darwin signed the box for him because they were pals. That's cool. His turtle toys. He's like, I'm not giving him those. And then he's like, just keep it up, play with him. He's like, they were a gift. He's like, I'm not. What are you crazy?
Batman. You want me to give him turtles?
You want a real turtle? I got a real turtle over there. My son went to college and left us with his turtle, so we take care of it every day. That's fun.
And you want a gecko? My son did the same thing with us.
Yeah, and I heard they live to be like 30 or 40 years old. So this thing's going to be here long after we're gone. I'm like, oh, that's great. But no, you can't throw out those toys because you're going to become like us. My dad and mom in 1978, 79, we moved. My dad said, if you can't carry it in a shoebox, we're not taking it. So the only thing we took, he let me take the comics though, because he was a comic guy. But all I took was my Star Wars action figures.
Oh, nice.
3 3/4. And they literally fit in a shoebox. But everything else got thrown out.
The Micronauts are gone.
Micronauts, the G.I. Joes, the big 12-inch G.I. Joe, the big Jim, all that stuff. The Mego superheroes.
Your $6 million man, Steve Olsen.
$6 million man. Everything was thrown out.
Peek through his eye in the back.
Is that child abuse?
No.
When I went to college.
No, this is when I was 13, though. So, then you start looking at girls and you're like, oh, I don't want to play with baby toys.
Right.
And now what did I do for the next 30 years afterwards? Go back and try to find all those toys.
Yeah.
That is an interesting cycle.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me. My dad is like, hey, look, Brian, like, you're only going to take the toys that fit in this box. And I tried to put all my favorite toys in the box and they just wouldn't fit. And I'm just like, well, Dad, look, how about I just drive my car and I'll load it up with my stuff and I don't have to worry about putting it all in this box, because that doesn't make any sense.
Well,
make any sense.
I don't know. And then what are you going to do with it all? Somebody asked me that the other day, because I still have, there's toys everywhere, and they said, but what are you going to do with them all? And I started thinking about that and not getting morbid, but I'm like, I guess it's going to be a pile of Goodwill stuff here when I'm not here anymore,
you've already learned how to fit them all in a box. So you
now I've added more stuff. Oh no! Once I got a credit card and a house, and I had a space, and the kids are buying their own toys. So what I started doing was buy toys for the two boys. Oh, they want to play with this stuff, and then what happens? They grow up. One starts playing lacrosse. The other one starts playing music. Nobody cares. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yours is very neat. Mine looks like
this is not neat.
Salvation Army exploded or something downstairs.
Yes.
Well, no, that's kind of like what I have with those boxes piled on top of each other. Yeah. We had an electrician here yesterday, and I couldn't figure out the wiring. I gave up, and he comes by and he says, I could fix it for you. And I start talking comics. He goes, "Wait, you like comic books?" I go, "Let me show you something."
Yeah, he's
we went downstairs, and then he goes, "Oh my God, you're the king of the nerds on the radio show." I said, "Yeah." Sees all the stuff, all the comics, the toys, and all that, the autographs, and I give him a couple autographs from the actors, and then I said, "What do I owe you?" And he goes, "Well, any other guy would have charged you like $150." I said, "But you're not every other guy." He said, "No, I'm not." And he goes, "What do you think's fair?" And I go, here's a couple Billy Tucci autographs.
There you go.
Never good enough,
And then
he was like, "You have one Jerry Tucci," and
then he doubled it to $600. I don't know what happened after that, but he was a good guy. He did it for like $50. I'm like, wow.
And I got this in the mail today.
Well, that's nice.
I already had a full run of all of them, but the guy was selling them online. I don't know why, but he had like one for 200 or like two for 250.
What?
It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm getting.
You bought them slabbed already? I thought you had them slabbed.
I already bought slab. Yeah.
Counterfeit.
Well, I mean, I have them in real to read.
Now, have you ever, hey, Mitch? Have you ever had Kevin at Terrificon?
No, that's why I was hoping to come on to see if I could invite him in person, and this stupid laptop decided to crap the bed at the last minute. So
it's crazy. It's about 5 minutes before you came on, he was telling us how you never invited him, and he wanted to come so badly.
Yeah, he loved Mohegan Sun. He wanted to take his wife, and
he's like, I go there all the time.
You guys are all kidding, right?
He's like, I heard there's a Chick-fil-A there.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
so
yes.
What happened is I come upstairs, I turn the laptop on, everything's all set. I put my mic on, my camera, we're all good. And then all of a sudden I get this blue screen thing that came on, and it said, have to restart. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it says sending to Microsoft, 10%, 20%, 30%. I'm like, what? So then it restarted. Then it had to install an upgrade. And I'm sitting there just tapping my fingers, walking around the room. Nothing. And then it came on for a second, and Niall saw me. I was like, hey. And then all of a sudden, it went out again. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Definitely
so
weird.
when
I can get you all. I got if you want the direct contact, I can get that over to you.
Yeah, and we'll hype it up. He was saying how he and Courtney, they do 15 to 20 shows a year. He said, right? So he loves getting out there because he, again, like all of us, you're isolated and you're sitting here in this room.
Yeah.
I
talked to him like 2 years ago, but he was tied up because another show in the area has exclusivity on artists and actors, and they can't be at your show if they're within 6 months of our show. And I'm always like,
what?
I can't hear you.
Gentlemen,
convention union.
We've got something. Someone special just entered backstage.
Oh no!
Oh, is it Elvis?
Better than Elvis.
Those two.
It's this guy. He kind of runs this little school, kind of like Professor X. Oh, Anthony!
Oh, hey!
Oh, I was thinking
just as bald as Professor X. It's incredible. Follically challenged superpower. How we doing, everybody? Great to see you guys.
Yeah, man. How you been?
Very good, very good. I was watching the show. I loved it. I loved listening to Kevin. It was really cool. I kept on trying to ask questions, but Billy would beat me to them all the time. He was getting them on there. It was very good. It was great.
That was actually pretty funny. I saw your question. I was going to pop it up, and then Billy basically asked the same question.
It was
weird.
I wrote up a whole other question, and I kid you not, he brought up the same thing that I was thinking. I was like, incredible. He's nailing it with one after another. But
I was reading your chat and taking it on as my own.
Now,
I
Mitch,
heard-
are you familiar with Mr. Marquise?
I am now. He's
Marquis,
right there.
Yeah, it's Marquis, right?
Mark.
Hey, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy. So
I would say
don't-
Marquis.
Mitch. Mitch. Anthony is the proprietor of the Kubert School.
Great to meet you,
Okay.
Mitch.
Yeah,
I've had Adam or Andy. Andy's been at the show twice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrific.
I've always heard great things about the show. Always
And
great
the
things.
man behind Green Hornet right now.
yes,
Oh.
yeah.
Doing Green Hornet right now, finishing that up. We're on issue 5. That should be out in December.
Ooh.
Freaking gorgeous.
He's a
dude.
fantastic artist and creator
Yeah.
in his own right, and he owns a comic book store.
Ooh.
Yep.
Which
And
one?
he's
Queens Comic City. We moved that to the school, so that's actually located on the premises now. So that's been fantastic. It's been a great thing for the students to be able to go on down and actually pick up some new books and know what's going on. It's good for the
Nice.
faculty and the staff. It's always good to know what's going on in the industry.
I was going to go to the Joe Kubert Art School in Dover, New Jersey, back in the early '80s, but I stayed here. I stayed here in Connecticut. Went to the Pear Art College with Howard Porter and who else was in our class? Frank McLaughlin was our teachers. Yeah, there you go. It was
Howard's great, man. I worked with Howard when I was editor at DC for a little while.
Yeah, we have the same birthday, he and I, but I'm older than he is and wiser. So,
How was it like to be in a school with someone like him? Like, were you guys like, wow, this guy's
no. He came in after me. I went to Southern too with Ron Garney in the
Oh,
same.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that was cool. Yeah, Garney.
Nice.
He's the local guy, but I ever tell you the story about how Garney was the bartender at a bar here in New Haven,
No.
and the Batman '89 movie opened up, and what happened is if you dressed up like a Batman character, you won tickets to the premiere. So I dressed up like the Joker, and I went in just trying to get the tickets because everybody wanted to see that Batman movie with Michael Keaton. It was like the biggest thing in the world, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And I go up there, and I didn't have any. I don't think I had any money. I think I had like $5. And I'm standing there dressed as a Joker, and the bartender says to me, he goes, "Hey, Joker, you want anything to drink?" And I don't drink much, so I go, "Yeah, vodka martini, shaken and not stirred."
Ooh, look
And he
at
looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, okay, Mr. Bond." And he makes it and he gives it to me. And then years later, I'm at New York Comic Con in Spencer Beck's booth. He's an art guy. And Ron Garney's sitting next to me. So we're both talking because he's from Connecticut. We grew up like a couple miles away from each other. So I tell him the story and he looks at me and goes, "Uh-huh. Did you want a vodka martini shaken and not stirred?" I go, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He goes, "I was the bartender, you jerk." I was like, "Oh." So he served me a drink when I was dressed as a Joker, and the rest is history, as they say. So
And then he served you again later in life. He's like, "You got served."
nah. He's a good guy. He loves the Mohegan Sun.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I asked this question last time you were on, but I was in the chat, Mitch. But do you know Scott Coker, the guy that's the owner of Bellator?
I don't know what that means. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bellator is the UFC.
Yeah, no, I know what that is, but I don't know who Scott, whoever is. So.
He keeps throwing your name out as you and him are the only two exclusive events.
Well, I am exclusive to Mohegan. That's true. That part of it's true. I mean, I'm the only Comic Con they deal with, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But what does he say that the Bellator is exclusive to Mohegan? It might be.
Yeah, he said that he's like between me and Mitch Halleck, we have the exclusive lockdown here at the Sun.
Yeah, no, that's true for my part. I just don't know who this guy is. I don't think I've ever met him.
Throwing your name around all willy-nilly.
Oh yeah, he's throwing it around big time.
Oh, maybe he's a fan.
Is he live in Connecticut?
Your name's probably been
Dude, my name's all over like horse manure. I'm everywhere.
I think he's in Waterbury.
Oh, okay. Scott, and what's his last name again?
Coker.
No. C-O.
He's not in Waterbury.
What?
He's not in Waterbury.
That's the only place I know in Connecticut. Is
How do
Waterbury.
C-O-K-E-R?
Yes, sir.
I know Gary Coker, but I don't know. Maybe he's Facebook friends with me or something. I don't know.
It's like every time there's a big event, they do the weigh-ins and everything. He's like, me and Mitch Halleck, we're the only ones that have the exclusive Exclusive events here at the Mohegan Sun.
Hey, man. I mean, I could tell you the stories how my grandfather was roommates with Ernest Borgnine, and that's not going to get you a cup of coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts. So whatever.
Oh,
Is that true though?
Yeah, he was. They grew up in Hamden, Connecticut here. And then he went off to the Merchant Marines, and my grandfather did not go to the Merchant Marines. So, but yes.
man, I wonder if you ever.
That's a dead stop, huh?
No, that's not. It's fine.
Ernest Borgnine. You want some other stories? Let's see.
Yeah, I want to know what's your beef with Howard Chaykin?
Oh, no. Chaykin and I were best buddies.
What's your wife's beef with Howard Chaykin?
Oh, she thought he was an asshole, but now she loves him.
They're good now. They're friends.
They're good. They're all good now.
Best of buds. They're pen pals.
I'm trying to think. Well, I told you before, Billy, there's a seedy underside and to every business you get into, and there's jerks and there's nice guys, but the thing of it is, do you waste your life focusing on the idiots and the jerks and empowering those idiots, or you just let it go and move on to something that's going to give you success and happiness?
You let it go. Absolutely.
It's hard to, Billy. I got the Italian blood in me, Billy.
I know.
Three quarters,
You hold grudges.
Italian grudge. The grudge.
Yeah, you hold grudges, Mitch. You do.
It's all about hard work, Billy. Anthony will contest to that.
There you go.
The harder you work, the more success.
Never stay mad at anybody. Halfway through an argument, I'm already moved on. I could care less.
My wife's not like that. I'm like all happy and stuff, and she's like, "You think I'm like you? You think I just need like 3 minutes and everything's good?" She's like, "I need time." Wow. I'm like, "All right."
Well,
I'm the worst. I'm not joking. Seriously, I'll be in an argument. We could be having a horrible time, and then it's over. I just don't care. Literally, I forget what I'm even arguing about after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty sad.
No, I've been married. How am I married? 27 years? I think I've been married 27 years. 93? Yeah, 27. Wow.
And you never had a fight. That's awesome.
I didn't say that. I just said I've been married 27 years, Billy. Come on now.
Anthony, Anthony, sorry, Niall.
I was going to ask Anthony a question.
I was going to ask Anthony a question too, but you ask Anthony a question first.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Anthony, how's everything going at the school?
Everything's going very well. Everybody is doing a great job. The teachers are doing a great job. We have and online. So it's been wild. We launched a whole online studies program at the school, which has been fantastic. I really have to give props to everyone that's been involved in putting that together. It's been a great success for the school. We launched that out of COVID. That's what we learned we could do. We could actually offer classes to the general public, and it's been a huge success. So thank God for that. That's fantastic. Sorry, I'm starting to sound like Trump.
No. You've had so many great talents that have come from the school. It's unbelievable.
Oh no, I mean it's absolutely incredible. There's always going to be a certain number of students that when they graduate, they're clearly ready to start working. Then there's another group that needs about like another year or so to kind of start to get their feet underneath them. And then but it's not just all pencilers or inkers and whatnot. You have students that go on to work in editorial or production or animation, storyboards. There's all different avenues that the students can go into, but the school's doing really, really well. So I'm really pleased with how that's all moving forward so far.
That's awesome. That's terrific.
What are you going to do now? Like before COVID hit though, you had this like whole program with conventions and things. What's your plan when all that comes into play? Because you guys were basically doing like classes at conventions.
Oh, really?
Your
stations.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Is that something you're going to continue once hopefully the gates open?
I mean, it all depends on what's going on in the world at that point in time. I think, the hard part for everyone is that we're all in a wait and see approach with everything. We can all say that we want to do this and that, but, unfortunately, it doesn't really work out that way. There's
it's a nice way of saying no.
No.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, if it presents itself, I'll be more than glad to get back to doing these things, but I want to make sure that it's safe, that the shows that we're going to are conducting themselves in a way that's not going to put any of my students or my staff at risk, and that it's done properly. That's what it all comes down to, is that everything's being done and handled properly, and that there isn't any risk for the folks that work for the school or are representing the school.
Have you seen a huge uptick in applications for the school because of COVID? Just strictly because like a lot of people are homebound?
So it's interesting, like with the way that it worked, we had a lot of folks, the interest in the school was way up. Our advertising, everything we were doing was very aggressive in the past year. When COVID hit, our numbers, we had already hit the most applications that we had. I think people were scared, as rightfully so. So, our numbers are still very strong. We actually stayed right where we normally are in terms of attendance for the school. So I was very happy about that. But the thing that we saw was by launching the online studies program, the interest is definitely there because we sell out in a few minutes, under an hour, our classes are sold out. We've been able to bring in teachers like Dan DiDio, who's teaching there now for us. We had Maria Scanapo teaching stuff, Joe Prado. Really great talents are teaching these courses, and they sell out immediately. So the interest is definitely there. But I'm very much looking forward and hoping that we're able to get past this pandemic, have a vaccine that's accessible and ready to go to folks. And I look forward to getting past this, much like everyone else.
Yeah, I saw a great article today on the internet from New York Times that said that they're studying people who survived COVID, and now they're detecting antibodies that might give them resistance to this for years, if not decades. I'm like, are you kidding me? That would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If this is all true. Because every time I read something lately, I'm always like, I'll wait until I can see it 3 or 4 other places to confirm it, because you don't know who's writing this stuff anymore. But if that's true, that's fantastic. I mean, wouldn't that be a great thing to go back to the way things were?
I love it.
Fantastic.
Well, it's amazing how quickly they were able to with the 2 vaccines in a 90.
Wow. Yeah, well,
So,
you got to realize there's a payday waiting at the end of that rainbow. Like no one, it's like $1 trillion payday for.
Yeah, well, you know what? I know that maybe we could sue somebody who's responsible for all this. How about that?
You got to find the person.
No, we know I think we all know who to sue and where it comes from. But let's not talk about that so we get our show.
Is it in Latveria?
Yeah.
Latveria, right? Dr. Doom, I believe.
For sure.
Hey, Anthony, I got a question for you because I remember when I was doing my internship, and I had to go. I was going to do an internship with a cartoonist down here for the newspaper. Down here in Connecticut, there was like Mort Walker, who did Beetle Bailey, and Dick Brown, who did Hagar the Horrible. There was a lot of cartoonists that lived in this area. And I went to interview on a Sunday morning. I remember it was like 11 o'clock. So I had to go down there. I brought my portfolio. I was going to school for art and design, and I really wanted to work in his studio. So I go in there, and I don't know if the guy had a bad night or he was in a bad mood. So he's looking down at my portfolio. His daughter walks in. She was like, teenager. She starts reading my comic strips, and I was writing and drawing them. She's laughing her head off. She thinks it's great. And the dad just got this like bug up his ass. And he says to me, he goes, "You can't draw hands." I go, "Okay." He goes, "Go home and practice for 6 months drawing hands every day and then come back." And I don't think he understood the idea of an internship, which is like you basically an apprenticeship. You go to be the little work dog in the studio to learn from these guys. This guy is like, hey, I'm like, dude, you're not even paying me. This was a non-paying internship, but it was one of these things. And then I told the story with these guys, me and Howard Chaykin. What do you tell your students when they go out there for that first job and that first interview on how not to be thin-skinned and realize that everybody's got an opinion? Just because that guy doesn't like your stuff doesn't mean you should just throw the towel in like I did and just give up easily. I mean, it's one of those things you just have to learn. When somebody says no, you keep going. You just don't say, well, I'm going to go, join the circus or something.
You answered the question perfectly.
Oh, no. I wish I knew that 30 years ago. I'd be where Billy is now. So
it's completely the truth, though. I mean, look, you are going to be told no.
Married to
you're going to be told that, it's funny. Taking what you said, my daughter brought me some artwork the other day. She just turned 7 on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And so she brought over some artwork and she said some kids didn't like the way that she drew. And I said, Avery, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
People tell me that they hate my artwork too. You can't please everybody. You can only do the best that you can do. But you got to be able to listen to what people are going to say, see if there's anything worthwhile in it, and then apply it, you know. And it's the same thing for everyone. You know, even if you're a student in an art school or if you're a working professional, you recognize and know that not everybody's going to like everything that you do. That's okay, you know.
Yeah. And I was going to say, and I ended up becoming an art director and then a creative director. I was not the guy you wanted to work with because somebody would come in and say, one of the marketing guys or the sales guys, like, I don't like the way that looks. I go, I don't like your face. And they'd be like, whoa. And then they go, I think it should be blue. I think the typeface should be that. And I would just turn and point to the degree on the wall. I go, you got one of these? They go, what's that? I go, it's a degree in design. Like, get the out of here right now. They were like, oh, he's one of those angry artists. But yeah. So
no. But it's good stuff.
It's a way to be, you know.
It is. But, all right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do another. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Is somebody else coming on? Is the Brady Bunch coming on now?
I do have something. I'm curious what your guys' take, you know, with everything going on. I came across this.
What?
And it's the Venue, the ultimate plug and play streaming player. Now this basically is bringing the movie theaters into your home. Like, you will pay. It's for premium ticketed entertainment. Have you guys seen this thing?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, this is out on Indiegogo right now.
So is that just for the player, and then you're going to have to buy the service later for some?
No. So it's basically it's going to be like your, you know, Apple TV, your Amazon Fire, but it has their exclusive Venue software, which they're basically picture Venue as of the venue. You know, you want the movies that are currently in movie theaters. Well, you pay to watch it. And, you know, now you don't have to go to the movie theaters, which I think is, with things going on. I mean, I want to go back to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do that. It's an adventure. It's fun. It gets you out of your house.
I've been to the movies 3 times already during COVID.
No. It's not.
Is this from Russia? Is this some type of Russian?
Nope. This is a company out of the U.S. I mean, the product's probably probably not made here, but it is a company out of the U.S. And I think they're taking advantage of the situation that we're in right now and basically offering a new means to get your movies and other ticketed events.
Concerts, sports.
Yeah. They have to have like a deal in place with the studios, and
you would have to.
They have to be marketed just as they have to basically have the same setup as a movie theater. And what I'm curious about, though, right? I look at the device, and they don't show this in any of the videos unless I missed it. You have to pay per ticket. Like, you can't just buy it once. So it's like, does this little device see how many people are in the room?
Well, that's scary.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it could. I mean, you know.
Would you guys buy a device like this?
I would.
No, definitely not.
I like going to movies and ballparks and stuff. I don't, you know. Watching a movie at home is okay, but it's not the same thing.
When's Wonder Woman debut?
It's supposed to be out of Christmas, but I doubt it.
And that's
on HBO,
right?
That's HBO Max. Yeah.
Christmas Day.
HBO Max. Okay.
I like HBO Max.
We'll see.
Do you guys see the Looney Tunes on there?
No, the new ones?
Yeah.
Or the old stuff? Oh, you're talking about the HBO
Max, yeah, Looney Tunes.
No, I thought because they just redid a bunch of Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain stuff.
Yeah, those are on Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't release yet though, did they?
I thought the Animaniacs came out last month. I thought
it was the 20th. I thought it's next week they premiere on Hulu.
November
20 November 20 something, yeah.
That's what, Friday?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're right. I haven't watched them, so you could be right. I've been too busy reading The Son of Satan.
Doesn't go over well.
You see that?
What have you been reading?
The Son of Satan. How did Marvel let this go through? What was going on in those 70s?
Is that Comics Code Authority proved?
Yeah. What drug fueled
hedonistic satanic worshiping cult
was going on at Marvel Comics that let this thing go by? Look, a cover by John Romita Sr., no less.
Look at
It's a
that.
great cover.
Gorgeous
You
cover.
think you know Johnny Sr. You did,
I
don't
know, he's a nice guy.
He was misunderstood, man, just looking for love in all the wrong places.
Was the son of
There's
Satan?
the wrong place, and he's like, I don't know, hell.
Well, the weird thing is, look at this. They banned this page back in the 70s. I don't know why. Let me see there. It's the son of Satan being crucified.
Wow.
That's why they did it. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know why they did this.
What were they thinking? I was like, did they think that was going to go through? So, I don't know. It's a wild time.
Trolling all around hell, and all I can find is these women that aren't worth a damn. I don't know why.
It was a Bill Mantlo script.
I know one good one, that Diamond in the Rough.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They had some weird books back then.
What kind of car did he drive?
He had a chariot pulled by the hounds of hell, as one would. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Did Romita draw it too?
No. It was drawn by, I think, where was it? Was it Trimpe? Yeah,
Ron
Trimpe.
Barney.
No, Herb Trimpe
Crimpy, wow.
and Jim Mooney. Some classic guys were in this thing. So, yeah, that's his ride. If you could get a picture of that. See?
Yeah, like make him a little bigger. Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, see that? He's riding chariots drawn by horses from hell. So.
It's hard to pick up women in that.
Yeah.
His sister is Satana. And
she's hot.
And the mother walks in, and there's Satana and the father sacrificing that family cat to the devil. And it's kind of like, didn't that clue you in that maybe he had a weird hobby?
It sounds like a great comedy. This is great.
Yeah.
It's actually a TV show now.
It's on Hulu, right?
Yeah, I watch it called Hellstrom.
And that's the son of Satan? That's the Marvel?
Yeah, it's the same story. That's why I went and got this, because after I saw the miniseries, I'm like, wow, that's a really messed up Marvel character. And a lot of it is in this book.
Oh, shit.
Well, what's crazy is Hellstrom, they made him out to be John Constantine in the Marvel Universe.
They tried to, yeah.
But then they jumped the shark. Like I'm talking about Fonzarelli, bicycle or motorcycle, like swimming pool with a shark in it.
What scene? What episode?
Last two episodes.
Yeah, it kind of got crazy then, didn't it? But that
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it kind of got a bit crazy, huh?
Yeah, but there was a creature in there that was. Do you remember that guy that was dying? He was like the hellspawn thing. His jaw was all messed up, and he's laying there on the ground. That was a great effect.
I'm missing out on this. I gotta start.
Yeah,
watching
man. Waste my time watching The Crown and.
Oh no, that's my wife. That no.
Yeah, like Hellstrom. Like it was so weird. Like it's him against evil. They're trying. They're trying to. The demons are coming back, trying to get him, and they're trying to.
Yep.
I guess stop the big evil from coming out.
Yeah, Satan was coming back to the earth to take over, and
his son is trying to stop him. So like daddy issues type of thing.
Correct.
And then like the last two episodes are just so. I mean, like they're not on the same planet. Like I don't want to say they're off the beaten path.
Well, maybe they tried to squeeze. It's only 10 episodes. Maybe they were trying to get a lot of future stuff into 2 episodes.
This sounds like Little Nicky. It's incredible.
Yes.
Little Nicky,
Marvel closed down their TV division.
I don't want to ruin it because I know there's people that watch it.
Oh, I liked it though. I mean, it's just nuts, man.
The last 2 episodes ruins the whole series for me because of what happens. And if anybody watches it or has watched it, you know what I'm talking about.
Levin's voice is getting very low now.
Yeah. That weird deep voice thing.
It's almost like
he's the son of Satan over here.
Satan.
Exactly.
He's like, and then his body erected from hell.
Yeah. If they bring this character back, it should be played by Billy Tucci. Look at that.
There he is.
You can pull it off, Billy.
My movie star good looks.
And you can get the Falcone brothers to be your little flying monkeys.
Hey, Billy, what's the odds of us checking out your campaign to see how
you're
close
getting
you are
previews?
to-
Oh, we need previews of Haikyuu launching in 48 hours.
Haikyuu.
Yeah, 48 hours we're launching, man.
48.
48. I gotta post that. I didn't post it.
We're getting an echo, guys.
I'll post it tomorrow. Yeah, I can. Would you guys like to see some? Now you have the video.
What's that?
I don't know. It sounded like
Video's not done. I can't show it yet.
All right. Well, would you mind? I'll share some.
You're echoing, Blevins. I had to mute you.
Yeah, he was.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're echoing.
You're echoing, Brian.
Yeah, show some little teasers, bro.
I've got so many pages colored already. Let me see what I could show with some word balloons. Let me find it. Hang on.
Get behind me, Blevins. What? That sounds personal.
Just
okay.
Guy.
Come on, let's do it by name.
So, did you guys have a good day?
Yeah.
No. I was looking so forward to meeting Kevin Eastman and talking turtles, and I get to restart my laptop and start looking for a new one.
Yeah, that's
next time that happens, jump on your phone.
I was going to do it. I was like, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to be on the phone.
Yeah, just jump on the phone.
I was at San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago, and I was sitting down and I was having breakfast in the morning at like the bar in the hotel.
Yeah.
And so he was sitting next to me, and I wanted to just turn and be like, oh man, it's so cool to sit next to you and have breakfast. And like, this is great, but like, I couldn't be that guy. I just couldn't be that guy. I had to stop, and not say anything, but he was nice to everyone that came over to him. I have to say.
No. I met him years ago with my son when he was little. He drew they were giving out these turtle masks. I remember at New York Comic Con. Cool. And he drew a turtle on it to my son, best wishes, all that stuff. And my kid was like, he still has it somewhere in this room because I'm in my kid's room doing this tonight. Because my wife.
What's the coolest thing you've got in your office, Billy, that you love that like somebody signed, or do you have a piece of art?
Yeah.
What do you love? Like, what's the piece that you love that's in there?
I got some really cool stuff, man. I do.
I always look at the background of your
well, this is like, I love this. Well, I mean, not comic stuff, but like this right here. This is, it's called By Dawn's Early Light, and it's signed by like 30 original Flying Tigers.
Nice.
Like 20 years ago. It's a John Shaw painting, and then over here I have one. It's called The Salute to the Tuskegee Airmen. It's signed by about 20 of the Tuskegee Airmen. It's got a beautiful illustration of a Spitfire. I got some really cool stuff. I got a helmet that was from the Rocketeer movie.
Oh,
I've seen it. Now that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
The original helmets that wasn't finished from the Rocketeer film. I bought that in San Diego in 1994. I saw it at someone's booth. And no. I think it was given to me. I think I bought it from John Kusanakis. His last name is. He was one of Dave Stevens' best friends. He was a retailer in L.A. I think he still is.
That's
incredible. He had it, and he got it from Dave. I should have Dave sign it, but I was friends with Dave, but I was so nervous. I never asked him to sign anything or asked permission from him.
There was a post tonight on Facebook. They're doing a Dave Stevens documentary, and they want anybody with stories about him to contact them and tell them stories. So,
yeah, I got a story that's kind of I don't care at this point. Something that had to deal with Marvel. And an editor over at Marvel, and they were just real not cool to him at all. And we had a pitch. It was a Captain America story, and with Dave Stevens and to have the Rocketeer in it. And I don't know if I should tell it, but I'll talk to you now about it, and you let me know if I should talk about it. But it's an awesome story.
They're all owned by Disney.
Awesome story, and it's sad, and it's really frustrating and infuriating. And I'll just go off on a Tucci tangent, but I don't know if I should.
No, let's.
But at this point, I really don't care anymore. There was a part of me that I was, but I haven't worked for Marvel since 1996. So 2007. So what do I care?
Now, Mitch, I almost want to extend that same question that Anthony asked Billy. I mean, what about you? I mean, you've gotten to hang out. I mean, you've been in the presence of so many of the greats.
What do I have? I have my favorite thing I have is Origin of Marvel Comics autographed by Stan Lee and John Romita Sr. That's my favorite thing because I had it since a kid. And then Stan wrote something in it. And then I met John Romita Sr. a couple years ago, and he took it and he wrote in it. I've got props from the Indiana Jones movie they filmed in New Haven.
What Indiana Jones movie what did they film?
The Crystal Skull one that no one likes. They filmed it.
What did they film?
The whole time when he was at school, they had a motorcycle chase through the streets of New Haven when the Russians were chasing after him.
Oh, that's the third one, the fourth
The
one.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. Oh,
Shia
Oh, Shia LaBeouf. Oh, heck yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, because I was going to be an extra in it, and then I couldn't be, and whatever. And then I was there anyway, recording and putting stuff on websites.
Oh,
but
nice.
when they left, it's like an army. They just leave. They left everything there. There was like props and signs and lamps, and they redid the whole school to make it look like the 50s. And Paramount, it's like, okay, we're out of here. We're off to Hawaii now. And they just like up and left. And I said to the guy, what are they going to do with all this? He goes, throw it away. I'm like, they don't want this? He goes, what are they going to do with all this? Put it in a warehouse and pay for storage space? Take it. So I was taking all kind of stuff from the set.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Lamps and pieces of the school.
Did the lamps work and everything? Like real lamps?
Yeah. The best thing was he crashes. The Russians crash into a statue of his friend Marcus Brody, who was in the Raiders and he was in the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
And it's dedicated to the dean of the college, Marcus Brody, 1937 to 1944. And it was this big plaque, and it looks like it's made of marble, but it's just wood because you see it on screen, you don't know. But in reality, it was this piece of plywood just painted to look like marble, and the letters were all supposed to be gold, but they were just, cheap plastic and stuff. And they just left that on the ground, and my kid found it, and he thought it was a gravestone. He's like, Dad, there's a dead body. I'm like, what are you talking about? In New Haven, there's a good possibility there could be a dead body. So we go over, and I said, no, it's a plaque. And we were lifting it up. It looked like it weighed tons, but it was like 10 pounds maybe. So that might be somewhere in the house.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, please tell me that you took it. But
Oh yeah, heck yeah, Mitch looted that place.
Yeah.
How about you, Anthony? What do you have?
Not much. No, at home it's I'm a sentimental guy. Niall knows that. I'm a big dork. So I guess the most important one is a piece of art that I did with my kids. And it was for a Red Sonja story. And, that's something that I keep in the office. That's really great. I keep up a few pieces of art that I did that I enjoy that mean a little something. I never liked putting up any of my stuff. I always thought that was kind of strange, egotistical, but people talked me into doing it. So I said, sure, I'll put up a few little things here and there. But most of the time it's just like stuff that I've collected from different people or different books, and they kind of remind me of something at a different point in time. It's like I heard you guys talking about the action figures earlier and letting the kids open them up. I had all, the Darwin Cook, New Frontier, Superman figures and all that kind of stuff. And, my kids, when they were born, they wanted to play with them. And I was just like, just open them up. Just let it be. Let them play with it. That's the point. Yeah. So I know that that's going to go against the collector mentality, but other than that, I don't really keep anything too sacred. I just kind of use it in the moment and then let it move on.
It was his birthday yesterday. He would have been 59 years old.
I have a. Yeah. Do you mind if I tell you
58, right?
58. I thought it was 59.
Yeah.
58.
Can I tell you a Darwin story real quick?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So anybody that knows me or has seen the work that I do knows that I love Darwin. I think Darwin's artwork's absolutely incredible. He's my idol. So when I was first graduated from the Kubert School, I was the convention coordinator. So my wife, Jackie, and I would travel with the Kuberts all over. So we would go with Joe. Anywhere he would go, we would go. Mm-hmm. So we went up to Toronto, and my wife and I were working the booth, and Joe was there, and he had to step away for a minute, and we needed to get some Canadian money. We need to go get some of it. So I go, all right, I'll go run and go grab it. I'll be right back. So Jackie goes to me. I come back, and she goes, oh, some guy came by, said that he wanted to see Joe. So I told him, he's not here. Come by later, whatever, get lost. Mm. So I go, all right, well, what was the name? Did he give you a name? Yeah, he gave me a name. well, what was it? You know? And then she starts going, oh, Dave, Derwin. And I go, Darwin Cook was just here? And you told him to get lost? And then she's like, yeah, Darwin Cook, that's the name. And then so all of a sudden, I kid you not, maybe about a half an hour later, Joe comes back, Andy's at the booth. And Darwin Cook comes walking up, and I'm like in full geek out mode, full fanboy geek out mode. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's great to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And she just starts calling him Derwin. She starts going, hey, Derwin, great to see you. He was great. He was super nice. I got a chance to work with him on All-Star Western when I was assistant editing on that book, and got him to do some covers. And he was awesome, incredible talent, wonderful storyteller.
Yeah.
And truly an idol of mine. I admire his work.
Don't you like how wives are never impressed with these things?
You gotta tell you have to tell Anthony your wife's story with Howard Chaykin.
Oh, I was
trying to break into comics and all that.
Oh no, I was going to tell the John Wesley Shipp one. I'll tell you that one. Real
I
quick.
don't know that one.
We're at the Trumbull Marriott, one of the first conventions I produced right here.
I was there.
You were there. It was a one-day show.
That was great.
That was the day the guy got mad at me who didn't want to pay for his table, and he paid me a bag of nickels and dimes. Remember that one? Remember that one? Oh no, you were there because I told you and you flipped out. The Falcone brothers were there. Oh. One of the vendors, he didn't want to pay for his table. He thought he should get one for free because he was a famous artist that no one had heard of. And I'm like, who are you? Yeah. He's like, I'm so-and-so. We're like, okay, I don't know who that is. I asked around. Nobody knew who this guy was. So I said, it's $50 for a table for one day. I'm like, come on, dude. So he's like, all right. And then 5 minutes before the show, he finally shows up and his table's been waiting. So he walks by me. I says, oh, hi, how are you? And he goes, F you. I go, excuse me? What? And then he goes, here's your money. And he gives me a bag.
Wow.
$50 of nickels and dimes, which is kind of psychotic.
Yeah.
And then he goes to his table and I'm like livid. And my cop friends are all there because that's my security. He's always off-duty cops. And they're like, you want me to pepper spray this guy? You want me to zip tie him and get him to hell? I'm like, no. I'll take care of it. And I remember Billy was there. He was inside, and I was like fuming, And I was telling Dom Falcone, he's like, you can't do that. I remember, and Billy's like, who is he? You point him out to me. This is years ago. This is like 7 years ago. But that same show, John Wesley Shipp, who's the actor that plays the Flash from the old show, and he's on the new one. Yeah. So my wife's running the front table, and he's one of our guests. So he comes up to the table, and he says to her, hey, I'm John Wesley Shipp. And she goes, uh-huh. He goes, he goes, the Flash. And she goes, what does that mean to me? Yeah. He goes, I'm one of your main guests. I'm the Flash. And she goes, like the Flash Gordon? What is the Flash? I don't understand. He goes, the Flash. And she goes, no, I don't know. I never watched any of this stuff. Ask my husband. I go, oh my God, Mr. Shipp. I come running over. This is over your table. And, and he's looking and goes, who was that young girl? She did not know who. I go, that was my wife. Oh, okay. That's cool. But anyway, he comes to my show like every year, but he always reminds me how my wife didn't know him.
That's very funny. But he's a very nice guy.
Oh, he's a great guy. He's one of the best guests you'll ever have or meet.
Yeah.
But Billy's story is when I was trying to break into comics and I went to New York for a comic convention, and Howard Chaykin was one of my idols, and he still is because he's a writer and he's an artist.
Sure.
So I had my portfolio. I just graduated and I had a book and I was trying to get a publisher and an agent and all these questions. So I get in line and he's there with this bravura book called Power and Glory, I think it was. And I get up to him and I got my portfolio and I start badgering him about how do you get an agent? How do you make money? How do you get royalties? How do you do this? And and it's just like 1,000 questions. And Howard's like freaking out, He's like, whoa, slow down. What is all this? What do you want to know? I go, I want to know how to make money. And he goes, wait, stop. Are you trying to draw because of the love of the art, because you have a God-given talent and you just want to express yourself? Or are you just trying to make a paycheck? I go, I'm just trying to make money. He goes, that's it. You're nothing but a whore. Get out of here. You're taking your talent and you're just prostituting yourself for $1. Get the hell out. I don't talk to whores. You got to be an artist, not a whore. Get it. And he just kept saying whore. So I'm devastated. And my wife at the time, I think we just got married, she's there and she's like, what an asshole. So she's yelling at him. I'm just like almost in tears. And then he goes, who's this girl? I go, that's my wife. What? She goes, you're a real asshole. He's asking you, and you got, and she's like, get out of here. So we're all fighting with each other, and it's a mess.
You're a real asshole.
She didn't care. She's like, what do I care? What the hell? He draws a funny book. Big deal. Yeah. We'll walk outside. No one gives a rat's ass who the hell he is. I go, whoa, slow down. So anyway,
because I've heard this story a bunch of times, and she said, you're a real asshole.
Yeah. I was trying to be nice,
and then you guys are all friendly now.
Oh yeah, then he comes to my show, and then 2 years ago, we're all at the bar after the show's over on Sunday night, and he's about to leave to catch his plane, and he's over there, and my wife's laughing with them, and they're joking, and I go, "You do know who that is, right?" She's like, "No, who?" I go, "Remember in 1992 or 3, we were at that convention in New York at the Sheraton, and you swore at him and called, oh, that's the guy? Yeah. Oh, he's so nice. He's so he's like my grandfather. He's such a great guy." Or I was like, "Oh, stop.
You know, I think a lot of times an artist to another artist is going to kind of give you that sort of talk. You're going to get some of those sort of things told to you. You know, I mean, I don't think it's any secret. We've always heard the stories of going up to Neil Adams and getting the portfolio reviews as a student, you know, and he gives you the hard portfolio review, but like you look for these things, you know, when you go to the shows, you know, it's kind of what, I'm not saying that, you know, having someone, you know, call you horrible names is a good thing. Never, you know, if somebody's calling you something bad, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of what you expect sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's, as an artist, it's going to be a little bit tough. You're going to get that feedback. It goes to exactly what you were just talking about before, Mitch, about having that thick skin.
Well,
you know,
I put, honestly, after that was over, I put the comic book away. I put it up on the shelf, and I went just into graphic design and designed catalogs and ads and ad agency stuff, and never once looked back, and really hadn't drawn since about 1993. And about a year or two ago, I started just screwing around and drawing some stuff and posting it. People were like, "I didn't know you know how to draw." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't do it because of this man right here." You know. And I told Billy, the funny thing is I had to interview him for a podcast about how many years later? 93, about 16 years later. It was a long time. And I'm in Baltimore Comic Con, and it's Walt and Louise Simonson, Klaus Janson, and Howard, and they're all on this table signing, and I sit down with my microphone and my camera and all that, and we're setting up for the interview, and he doesn't remember me, obviously. And I said, "Can I just tell you something before we start doing this interview?" He's like, "What?" I go, "There's 2 people on my hate list, Adolf Hitler and you. And depending on the day, it goes back and forth. It's news number 1 and news number 2. And he's like, "What did I do?" And Klaus starts cracking up, and everyone's looking over, and I tell him the story I told you, and he goes, "I don't remember that at all." I said, "Really?" He goes, "No, I have no recollection of that. Why did you waste all these years harboring this hatred for energy? You could have used it for constructive stuff, and you wasted it on that." I go, "Now you're yelling at me about that?" He goes, "What a waste of life. Why are you bothering with this nonsense? I don't even know what the hell I said to you." And then he's been nice to me ever since, you know. So
he's like, "Kurt, get a life."
Yeah.
I have to say, with those other people that you mentioned too, I haven't had a real chance to ever speak with Walt and Louise before, but Klaus is truly one of the nicest people that works in this industry. I gotta tell you, I Klaus ever sees this video, I love you.
He was Santa Claus at the department store here in Bridgeport when he grew up here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. His sister still lives in this town that I live in, but he said he was Santa Claus at the Gimbels. Gimbels was like Macy's. There was Macy's and Gimbels, and there was a Gimbels in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he would dress up as Santa and have the little kids sit on his lap at Christmas time and have to, you know, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I just can't picture a 16, 17-year-old Klaus Janson dressed up with the hat and the red beard and all that stuff. But, you know,
he's a great guy. Great guy.
Hey, who was that comic artist that got arrested in like the early 90s? I think he worked with Klaus for like child porn or some kind of stuff. Yeah, I think he was a Connecticut guy, right? Or was he a guy?
I don't know if he was a Connecticut guy.
He was an inker, right? Like a well-known inker.
No,
It
he
was
was
a big
arrested for
story.
child pornography. Or
Yeah, do
something.
you remember that? It was a big story.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. That
An
might have been
inker?
like.
Well, how did connect that with Klaus? Klaus is an inker.
I
too.
think that because he had art on the wall, and there was Klaus is an inker, but he had worked with something that Klaus had worked on as well. There was something I just remember.
Herwenberg probably knows. Herwenberg. Who's
Herwenberg, you know everything.
Oh no, I don't know.
That's the worst thing whenever you find out that somebody that you work with, or
It wasn't Klaus Janson.
No,
I wanna make-
no.
But I mean, that there's that's the most disappointing thing, and you always hope that everyone's pretty upfront. We're all trying to be good people, doing the right things, and it breaks your heart when you find out.
You're talking about me and Catholic schoolboy here. You know how many people we hear stuff? You're like, oh no, not Father so and so. Come on, man. God, you're kidding me here.
And speaking of Christmas, that is my cue because I'm going to go finish my Hallmark Christmas movie.
Nice.
Oh, my wife.
I do it right now. It's now until Christmas. It's just all Hallmark Christmas movies at night. So
they have their own wine now. So make sure you get a bottle of Hallmark wine.
I'm going to need a bunch of them. I
should get a case of it. I go, you're kidding me, right?
And make sure, guys, check out through Dynamite, Green Hornet.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love this image. I had to throw it up.
That's one of the pages I put up on the wall. I kept that one.
Yeah, you should, brother.
All right.
All right, man. Enjoy your
Anthony. Come up to Connecticut when we get back to the real world.
Is that the date that you got behind you? I see.
Yeah. July 30th to August 1st. Knock on wood, it happens this year.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely praying. We're able to get back to doing what we do best, and that's drawing and providing some entertainment for people and making folks happy again. So that'll be awesome. So look forward to seeing you guys, and I appreciate Niall. Thanks again for letting me pop on in and say hello and chit chat with everybody. Billy,
Anthony, anytime, man. Anytime you want to be, even if you want to come on and be a guest host with us, anytime.
I would love
to have you on.
I always enjoy chit chatting a little bit and getting. This is the new norm. This is so. I appreciate it very much, guys.
Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on. So show us a couple of those previews, Billy.
Yeah, okay, let's grab one. Let's see what I can do here.
Ooh.
Wait, where's my little StreamYard? Okay, is it sharing? Hang on.
Yeah, it's sharing.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna put this here so I can see it. But I could zoom in. This is not the page I wanted. I wanted to do page 1, but if I zoom it up a little bit. Whoever would have thought you'd see Anna Ishikawa driving a car?
Wow.
So she's racing. Oh, this is not the one with the word balloons. I get the ones with the word balloons.
No word balloons here.
All
hey,
right.
did you get that splash page by any chance?
Not yet. I got to get it. We'll get it in the morning.
All right.
They're great. Okay, let's go to all files. I apologize. Let's grab some lettered pages. I'm not going to show them all. We got 20 lettered pages, but I'm going to show some.
Hey, Mitch, while he's doing that, talk about your podcast.
Yes.
That people need to subscribe to.
Yeah, well, we've got 2 shows, actually, they should subscribe to. I also have a YouTube show called Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure. We just did a history of the Star Wars Holiday Special, which happened 42 years ago tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It was on CBS, one of the worst television programs ever to air
ever
TV. Star Wars Holiday Special. And we did a whole hour about what went wrong. And what went wrong? Because there's nothing. Well, there's one bright spot. There's a cartoon on that had Boba Fett that was really cool, but
yeah,
the rest of it sucked. Art Carney, B. Arthur, Diane Carroll, Jefferson Starship. It was one of the worst pieces of crap in TV history. And all the stars were on it: Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. It was like, what is this 2-hour mess? So that's there. We talk about movies on that show. We do Superman. We do superheroes. We do. Land of the Lost, you name it. We cover all the classic TV shows and movies. That's Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure on YouTube. We just started that.
What a great stream! What a great subject too.
Can I recommend another one for you guys to cover? Legends of the Superheroes.
We did that already. The special that we did a whole thing about 70s TV superhero shows. We talked about Shazam, ISIS, and we talked about those 2 NBC specials that were insane to watch. I mean, you got Ghetto Man on there. And Adam West and Burt Ward were Batman and Robin, so there was kind of.
Except Robin looked like he was like 41.
Yeah.
He probably was.
He probably was.
But
Definitely in his 30s.
One day we got to talk about David Ogden Stiers from MASH playing the Martian Manhunter on the Justice League pilot that came out in the late 90s. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's bizarre. Anyway, that's Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure. The other show, Jerry Ordway and I go out for beer and pizza like every other week, and we just put the microphones on and we just talk about anything for about an hour or two. Depends on the day and the beer. And that's the Power Cosmic Podcast. It's been going on for 4 years now. And Jerry tells you what it's like to be an artist and how he gets inspired and some behind-the-scenes stories of his days at DC Comics and all that stuff. So, yes, we did cover Elektra Woman and Dinah Girl. In fact, we talked about the Sid and Marty Krofft. No one remembers Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Does anyone remember that show, Bigfoot?
I hated Sid and Marty Krofft. I hated
that.
Come on. Nightmare to me. It was like a
we
drug-addled
Lidsville
and all that puffin stuff. Oh my god! It was like
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, so disturbing.
They're still alive. The guy's like 91 years old.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It scared you, didn't it, Billy?
Terrified. Terrified me. That witchy poo. I hated that kid.
Witchy poo.
I hated that
Jimmy.
That
flute. Hi, Jimmy. How are you?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just the most disturbing.
Charles Riley was on all of them. Don't you remember the Bugaloos, though? There was a real pretty British girl on that show. The Bugaloos.
I remember the name of it. I remember the show. What's the show where they had that really cool outer space like truck? It was looked like a
Arc 2.
Yes, and that chick Ruth, the Chinese woman. Oh my god, she was.
Oh yeah, man. It was like Damnation Alley. They had the same car.
Yeah. Yep.
Lucan the Wolf Boy. I did not cover that yet, but I will because I thought I was the only one that watched Lucan the Wolf Boy. But we talked about the Night Stalker. We just did a show about the scariest TV movies ever when we were a kid in the 70s. It was Gargoyles, The Night Stalker, Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot was terrifying.
With that kid tapping on the window.
To this day, it is.
I always got when I hear something on the window, like the wind and the trees are scratching. Ting, 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 ting. That dead kid floating by.
Oh my god!
And that was on regular TV. I mean, that was pretty scary for
terrifying. Yeah, 79, right? Remember?
Yes. It was a double 2-part show or whatever.
David Soul,
and that
kid that was in every television show.
Lance Kerwin. That's his name. I said the same thing. I go, he was in every show there was in the 70s. Like, there's that blonde kid again, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to him.
I don't think when you get him a trip? Nah, I don't get him a trip.
Yeah, we should get him.
Where are they?
No thanks to you, Lance. I have nothing.
You know who was? We did the Land of the Lost. That's our most popular episode we've done. I can't believe that was such a big thing.
Oh yeah,
Land of the Lost, really? Whatever.
Well, for my generation, we didn't realize that it was a show from the 70s because we had our own version when Nickelodeon revived it.
Yeah, in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't so good. It had the guy that was in the movie Roller Coaster.
It was the dad, right?
Yeah, the dad.
Yeah.
He was in the Last Picture Show, too. He was actually a pretty big actor at one point in his career. And then he ended up on that stuff. So who knows? But
who knows? I don't know, Mitch.
I don't know. We got to talk about stoves. We got to talk about Kung Fu. We got to do a Planet of the Apes type of thing.
Yeah, dude. Planet of the Apes was huge.
We got a lot of people that would chime in on that episode.
In fact,
let's do a Planet of the Apes. Let's definitely do that. Let's put that on the
TV show. Remember the TV show Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
It only did like one season, though, right?
Yeah, it only lasted one
season.
But it was
I was going to say the guy on Planet of the Apes, the blonde-haired guy, became the uncle on Land of the Lost for the 3rd season when the dad quit the show. So it's like I didn't know until I was doing the research that Ron Harper is his name. So there you go.
Look at that.
Yeah, a little. But oh my God, Planet of the Apes and Marvel had the magazines. Remember that black and white magazines?
Dude, I was a gorilla that Halloween.
Did you really dress up like?
We're all gorillas. All my friends are all gorillas from Planet of the Apes. Remember those action figures, the awesome Mego action figures?
Yeah. Those were the army guys. It figures Billy was the army guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna be a chimp.
Yeah, or the Dr. Zaius was what?
Well, now Dr. Zaius is
orangutan?
everyone's favorite to this day. Dr. Zaius has
Dr.
I always like Cornelius the best, but that freaked me out. I saw that on the CBS Friday night movie, Planet of the Apes, and when the Earth blows up at the end of Beneath the Planet of the Apes, this world known as the Earth is no longer there. I was like, oh my God, they blew up the Earth. What?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for a 50-year movie, But did you see? Were you were at that show? Remember Mark Carbo, Big Apple show? He had the girl that played Nova, Linda Hamilton. No,
oh my God,
was that her name?
No. She's my favorite. She's like the hottest, beautiful Linda Harrison.
Linda Harrison.
She is my type, man.
Oh, the dark hair and
we got to meet her actually
at the
She
show.
was married to the producer.
She was married to the producer.
She married Zanuck's son.
Yes, Richard.
Daryl Zanuck Jr. or whatever his name is. Totally. She was stunning. Oh my gosh, stunning.
Yeah. I talked. She was still pretty now. I mean, she's got to be 70s or something.
Yeah, she was like 60 something. We met her, and she was just stunning.
Did you say she was like still kind of like still hot or something?
Yeah,
like she was still good looking at that.
Yeah, she had that skin, and
everybody had skin, Billy, but
not.
But she had that skin.
Harrison skin.
That skin.
Well, and then we talked about Swamp Thing on one episode. Remember Adrienne Barbeau?
Yes.
Yep.
She was coming to Terrificon because she was the voice of Catwoman.
Yes.
On the Batman animated show. So thank you, COVID, for making Adrienne not show up this year.
Yeah, you could,
You had like the whole cast lined up, didn't you?
I had the whole cast of the Batman and the Justice League show all coming to Terrificon. Even the guy that played Martian Manhunter, which Carl Lumley, he doesn't do anything else. He was coming.
Did they signed? Are they like committing to come back?
Yeah. As long as there's a next year,
yeah.
Are you doing a big panel with them? I'm infatuated with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman the Animated Series are like.
No, we had Andrea Romano, who is the voice director for all those shows. She was going to be there, and they were going to do a live read of one of the episodes of Justice League with all the actors doing their parts on stage, which was awesome. So we'll see.
Are you going to have a dinner that people can buy tickets to eat steak?
No, that I don't know about.
Eat with them? No.
Imagine that. Eating with having a dinner with the whole cast.
You do breakfast with Billy Tucci. That's always good.
Heck yes, you can.
Breakfast with Billy.
It's a liquid breakfast, everyone.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. It involves a bowl of crackers with some bourbon in
it. He soaks the crackers.
I remember.
You have to mash it into a ball.
I went to bed, and in the hotel lobby at like 3 or 4 in the morning is Mike Cho, Billy Tucci, Mike White, Mike McCone, and you guys were just all yelling so loud. It's like
Donnie Cates.
Donnie Cates was there. Yes.
Oh, then you were yelling.
Yeah,
everybody was yelling at
They're probably arguing.
Yeah, we definitely were.
They were having a discussion like my mom
we definitely were. We're all pals, but. We were definitely we were all. It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Some guys can't hold their liquor. I think.
Who, Mike White?
I don't know. It's like an amusement park in there. You don't even have to leave.
Oh, it is. Franco says he loves my show. It's like being in a submarine. He says once you go in, you never see the sun again for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
You don't know what time of day it is.
You kind of hope it rains.
I don't know what's happening outside. Who's president now? And you open the door on Sunday night or Monday morning. You're like, oh, what happened? Where am I?
Yeah. The worst place to get lost in. all the restaurants, and we went to that restaurant last year. Niall, we went to Bobby Flay's.
Oh, Bobby Flay's is gone now.
Right.
It's gone.
They closed it after 20 years. Yeah, Bobby Flay's American. Yeah.
They got did something take its place?
Yeah. Some new restaurant. I haven't been there since all this started. So
yeah,
but I like when there's no place open at like 4 in the morning. I think Johnny Rockets is open, maybe.
And Pepe's.
No, Pepe's closes around 2, I think. But the thing of it is, you go down there and there's like Sean Gunn from the Guardians of the Galaxy and a couple of the artists. And everyone's eating like fries, like at a diner, like 5 in the morning, because there's nothing to do. You can go gamble, you can go drink and stuff, but it's just crazy to see who's still awake. Jim Steranko's still walking around at like.
Oh yeah, he always is. Yeah.
That guy's a freaking Energizer rabbit. He never.
Yeah, he is. Yep. And the one thing is you love Jim Steranko, but
Yeah.
he'll catch you at 2:00 when you're heading into your room, and then you're there till 4.
It happened to me. I couldn't.
Right? Just the story, you just don't want to leave, and he just will be just talking to you, and then he'll get up and he'll be at the show at 8:00 in the morning.
I know, dude. We had a dinner with Steranko from 8 to midnight. It ended at 2:30 in the morning. He did one, and then when it was over, he and I were walking through the lobby. He saw Ben and Jerry's was open. He's like, "Oh, let's get an ice cream." I'm like, "Come on, Jim!" And he was wide awake. I'm like, "What does this guy eat, man?" Because he was like flying, you know. And you're right. The next morning at 10:00, there he is with the turtleneck and the suit. He's at the booth, all set, ready to go.
Setting up, helping setting because they don't set up things fast.
See what you don't see when he gets to his hotel room. He opens that suitcase with the glowing green ooze.
Yeah,
he checks it in. He's just sitting there for 2 hours and
he's
ready
got
to go.
stories. Oh my God, the stories that guy could tell you, man. Unbelievable.
Hey.
Punching Bob Kane in the face.
Did he really?
Yeah.
We'll get Jim on. Jim will come on. Would you come on if we get Jim on?
Oh God, yeah. He's the
I will reach out to him tomorrow, Niall.
He's in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
To get Jim on. All right. So speaking of stories, can I share some IKO stuff? All right.
Let's do some stuff.
Now these are not final colors, just to let you guys know that. But let's do Chrome tab. Skull, this is all easy for me now. There you go.
Oh,
so here's page 1, how it opens up. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on it.
Oh, dear.
And this is told in flashback because it says, 1 hour earlier. So we're doing Brian Miller of Hi-Fi Design. They did this amazing sepia tone. Nice. And we see how here's Anna's grandfather from the events of what happened before. And there's her daughter, Haikyo. She has lipstick on now, which she wouldn't be wearing. And let me go back because I don't know if I can share all the pages.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to share all the pages. Page 4. How's that? 4 is a good number.
Just share what we're gonna have in the video.
All right. Okay, I will. So here she is. She's fighting now. The villain. This is Anna's daughter, and she's no shrinking violet, so she fights back. And then he smashes her into a lamp. It's just fun stuff. Oh yeah, man. And then she, and look at this. This is a cool scene. If I do say so myself.
Crazy.
Yes, yeah. They're just fighting all through the house. And see, he starts to take it to the ground, and then she flips him and smashes him down. And they're just battling away.
Like one of those home renovation TV shows.
Oh yeah, heck yes. Oh heck yes.
Property Brothers.
Let's go to I'm trying to remember the page. Yeah, I think this is the car scene. Nope, that's another scene. That's a fun page too. But let's go to page 11. And this is something I love.
This is a great, yeah.
Yeah, when Hotaru goes to let me see if I can escape out.
Can you zoom in on that a little, or?
Yeah, I gotta do this. There we go. I gotta hit this.
A skeleton?
Yeah, dude. And we got this color palette from the old Aurora Forgotten Prisoner model.
Get out. Really?
Yeah, so we got to add a little bit. I wanted that glow in the dark, James Bana, those great paintings. Yeah. So we're going to pop this skeleton a little more, but that's how the colors. So basically where they are, he's in the ruins in his lair, and there are thousands of Japanese lanterns that light up the catacombs beneath this infectious disease hospital on Roosevelt Island. And Haikyo means the ruins.
Yeah.
So, and here she is. That's Hotaru. And just fun stuff. I just love this panel. Man, I wish I made this panel a whole friggin' page.
Seriously. Look at all that detail.
I know.
You got to see this in pencil, though. It's incredible. Like, the colors are great, but just how all that time.
Incredible. But just fun stuff. Here's our villain. Look at it. It's just evil. Pure evil. Evil. And let me go back. Let's see. Again, that page, I think this is when they're driving, right? Was it 9?
The splash page or
the hospital page with Anthony Marquis up there. No, it's not Anthony. Here we go. I like this fun. I just think it's fun, too, that Anna's driving in her costume. Because of, how do you meet Arashi to fight him at the end of Return of the Warrior? Well, she drives. And, they're driving, racing back to the house. And just fun stuff. You see Arashi's been, he's been incarcerated for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't want to spoil it too much of it, but let's go back. Yeah, there's just a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff in the book. And just real excited to let's see if this page. Oh, this is a cool scene too. If I do say so myself.
I was going to say, do you say so yourself, Bill?
I know. I get excited. I'm so excited to bring She back. I love this panel right here.
Oh yeah, look at that piece of her.
And she's just
with the choker. Look at that.
Yeah, someone's obsessed with her, and it's got a painting, and it's fun. Just fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Billy, you know what I learned from Ordway a couple weeks ago? I never knew.
What's that?
He said back in the day that they would get the pages. The letterer had already put the words in.
Yeah, back in the day.
I always thought it was the other way around, that the guys drew the pages and then they dropped the letter. And he goes, no. He goes,
they penciled.
Yeah, he goes, you wouldn't want to do that because what if you drew something and then they dropped a word balloon on top? You wasted all your time. So you would let the letterer put the positions there and you just drew around it, which I'm like,
oh, wow. I never knew that.
I think Stan Sakai does it. I think Jeff Smith does it. I think Terry Moore does it too. I'm just I tried to do it lettering, and I'm a horrible letterer. And I'm like, the computer lettering is much better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know who did his own lettering? I couldn't believe was Robert Kirkman.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. If you watch, he talks about he was on some YouTube show called Comic Tropes.
Right?
Yeah. We've had him on the show.
Yeah,
before.
we've had these.
Yeah. And he did a 5-part show with Robert Kirkman. And in the first 2 episodes, he talked about when he was first starting and how he laid out all his own dialogue and he did his own lettering for all this. I'm like, really? Kirkman's types? I don't understand how or why he was doing it, but he said he was. So,
yeah, lettering's not easy. You have to have good penmanship and.
Well, no, isn't it all digital now?
Yeah, he
does it. Oh, he letters his books.
No, I'm asking, isn't it all?
It's all digital now. Yeah,
Joe Caramagna and those guys, they all do the VC stuff. It's all digital, I assume. Has to be, right?
I think it's just so labor intensive and it looks great. I think the digital looks son of a bitch. I think that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Jerry was talking about how the guys in the day used to do the hand lettering back in the 70s and the 80s and
there's a couple guys that still do it. It's kind of like a dying art.
Yeah, Tom,
that's what I was saying. Stan Sakai letters by hand, and I think Terry Moore does, and Jeff Smith too.
What was the guy's name? Tom Ozanowski or something? He was a Marvel guy. He was a huge name. He did all the X-Men with Chris Claremont. And I'm thinking, oh my God, imagine having to letter all that dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men books that were like,
loved him.
Oh, there was like no room for any artwork by Byrne.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, how those guys made a living. I mean, I guess was he a Ramita Raider and was on staff?
No, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. How did a letterer make a living?
Because it's so much work for so little pay.
Well, they probably have, I mean, they got their page rates, right? So they probably have to. But what's his name? We had on. Oh shoot! What was your?
I used to do all the lettering for She before we went. Because we used to. Oh yeah, because I could show you a page. Let me grab. Let me grab an issue.
We had your buddy on the show, and he had his letterer on.
Caramagna?
No.
Oh.
I'd have to go back to past shows and see.
Me? Yeah, let me click out of here, and I'll.
Yeah, I'm looking for some of the old artists.
Yeah, so if I grab over here, here's a page. I'll grab this one. This one works. So there we go. So the lettering is computer. I had it on an Apple or a 6100. I had a Power Mac.
Yeah.
So you look. So here's a page. Here's a She page. Mm-hmm. And what I did though is I put it on.
An overlay.
So see, but I did that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
She number 2, we actually drew word balloon circles and then filled it in digitally. But I like this, and I did all the lettering, and then I drew all the little Japanese, for her dialogue.
Yeah.
Like I mean, for her monologue
right
there, and I typed it out all on the computer, and I printed it out on regular paper.
Yeah.
And I drew all the things, and I had my assistant Nelson Asensio, and Nelson probably cut it out.
Yeah.
With an X-Acto knife, and then I
made a
glue them
paper.
on.
You did a mechanical.
There's all the that's like some kind of paper. So we did it on the paper, and then if you could, I don't know if you could see if the light's too strong.
Yeah.
And we popped it on, and just fun stuff. I mean, this is Michael Bear's inks, and look at it. Just look at how we could do the hair. Look at that.
Yeah, what a brush.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I mean, man,
that's the whole thing too. Inking is crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole art form. Because I watch Ordway do it sometimes, and he'll like turn the page upside down, and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm like, crazy stuff. You know,
I ruin everything by inking it.
No, I like the way pencils look, and then sometimes it could either make a piece look better or I like just black and white gray scales from a pencil that you like.
Yeah,
great, but you can't always capture that when they shoot it, for the printers.
Yeah.
Nowadays maybe, but not in the day.
Yeah. There's so much stuff that gets made, like the Zipatone. If you see that Heritage auction, and there's that cover, the X-Men number 268 that Jim Lee drew with Wolverine and Captain America and Black Widow on the cover, and Cap's shield has a shading on it, and it's Zipatone. It's like, wow, I can't even get that stuff anymore. I still have some sheets of it in my portfolio. Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Ordway told me, he's like, they don't make that anymore. So, what was it? Chart pack? I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, there was a couple of things. I'm trying to remember the names of them as
Remember,
well.
I used to get those little. They were like adhesive. They were just strips. It was like 1.2 point. It was chart pack tape, and you'd make borders and lines out of it. And I can't think of the company that made it.
Yeah, well, we had like if you saw the little registration marks, like they don't.
Yeah, the registration marks. Yeah,
we had to do like see that, and that was stickers. See?
No, I worked at an art supply company called the Koenig's Art Emporium, and then there was Charette. I used to steal all my art supplies for school. I'd go to work. I'd be, I'll close up tonight, and then I'd take all the Prismacolor markers and the barrel ones and all that, and I would just speedball the hunts. What was the rapidographs? I used to steal the rapidographs. Remember a set of those ink pens? Like tungsten tip that was like $100 for a pen. I was like, yeah, I'll just take that right now. They're out of business. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
That's when you could get a Mont Blanc pen. Remember Mont Blancs?
Oh, yeah, I have a couple of Mont Blancs. I think I have two of them. Oh,
they were so expensive. You had to load them up with ink.
Yeah, I think when she came out in common, I'm like, I'm buying one of these pens.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm getting one of these pens.
You had to take care of it, though, because if it dried out, and the ink,
I think I ruined them. I'm sure I did.
I had a beautiful Omega watch that I got years ago, like the kind of war on the moon, like Armstrong had. Yeah, but it's one of those things you had to constantly keep winding it to keep the gears going on it, or they just kind of messed up. So I still have it. It was like a $2,000 watch, but
you're gonna have to get you're gonna have to take it to a horologist.
Yeah, just to repair it. It's like
bucks, that watch is like a porcelain doll, probably, and they're like,
it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's $900 to fix it. Probably
it weighed like a pound or two. You put it on, it's like this thing is made to last. This watch,
Oh wow.
Yeah, not like but nobody uses watches anymore. They all have.
I do.
I got the iWatch.
Well, look, here's what time it is.
Yeah. Now you gotta have a good watch to have a good time. So I wear a watch every day, just about.
For a good time.
For a good time.
For a good time, wear a watch.
Call Billy Tucci.
Billy, Batman, Bill Tucci.
There he is, right there.
There he is.
Right there.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Your boy, he left. He never came back.
He just he's been disappearing. He's a councilman now, Dr. Blevins.
Well, he didn't have an internet issue, so he jumped in the chat because he was freezing up and pixelating. And
is that why?
He was doing a Mitch.
Yeah. But everyone, tomorrow night, if you guys want, please join us. We've got the team from starring Sonia Devereaux back on. So we got Todd Livingston, Brendan and Brian Frame, Nicholas. Oh, are you familiar?
Oh, the Frame brothers. Yeah. I'm a big fan of theirs. They were at my show.
They're great.
And, every day I like whatever they put on Instagram. I'm one of the first people to click like on their stuff because I love their work.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
We got WWE diva Katarina Waters on and adult film star Caroline Pierce because they're all part of the creative team of Sonia Devereaux and some of the other Violet. They have some other books that are coming out. So it's going to be a pretty cool, interesting conversation tomorrow night. Also, Paul Jenkins will be joining as guest host.
Nice.
with Billy Tucci. I've got a few things going on tomorrow night, so I may or may not be on. And then Thursday, everyone, we've got Dan Mendoza and Nightmare back on for Tales of Billy Anthology Volume 1. We've got Isaac Bell, an upcoming amazing creator. Him and his girlfriend are just incredible talents with Metal Shade, which I just got my Metal Shade 1 in from the last Kickstarter a couple weeks ago and finished reading. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, Isaac's awesome too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Then we got Ryan back on with Bric-a-Brac #2. The first one was a surprise success. And, he said if it does good, they'll continue the series. And here we are heading into the holiday season with Bric-a-Brac #2. So he'll be on as well on Thursday night.
Mitch, I love all these independent guys, man, doing their own books.
I know. It's great.
You gotta love it. With all the shit that's going on in the industry and the world, and it's like a new golden age.
Yeah.
I really feel that with just all these creator-owned properties coming out. Fantastic.
Yes.
And guys, remember now, if I am only $416 away, I'm going to share my screen and share the thing.
Are you still 416 away, or are you up more?
I don't know, but that's a good number to say we are.
Yeah.
We're only $416 away from 200,000. Now, this is the Indiegogo and the Kickstarter campaign. Debbie wants to end it. I don't want to end it until I hit that goal. Because they called it legendary. If you hit $200,000 on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or both, like I'm doing, you achieve legendary status.
Really?
And I would love for the first She crowdfunded comic to hit that, obviously. Plus, because we didn't charge for shipping, and we are getting killed with shipping. My God.
Oh,
anyone in the crowdfunded campaign, if you guys do Kickstarter, you do Indiegogo, charge for shipping, even domestic.
I know.
It's
crazy. I was at the post office today sending packages. I was like, oh my God, when did this happen?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is going on? Nuts.
International stuff too. I sent stuff to Australia. Last year was $40. This year was $60.
Yeah.
Like, what? Same package, dude.
Yeah, it's so we're going to be charging for shipping on She Haikyo, which launches in 48 hours. So please bear with us, but we just got killed. Again, just the shipping costs. I think we're over $20,000 just on the U.S. Postal Service charges for our shipping. We had 3,700 backers. So, and it's great. Hey, it is what it is, but we're going to be charging for shipping for the next one. And if you guys don't want the comic, if you don't like it, buy my wife a drink. She needs it. Buy Debbie a drink, $10. So thank you all for all your great support. And we really, really appreciate you guys. Changed our lives with this. What an amazing experience. And they reinvigorated my love for the industry. Mitch, I got to be honest with you. Really did.
It, Billy.
I feel like it's 1997 all over again.
Blevins is back.
Uh-oh.
I've been backstage for like 30 minutes.
I apologize.
I just walked in a circle.
Yeah, even Mitch is like, is your boy coming back? I was like, man, I never left. I never left you, Mitch.
Oh, you were there in spirit. I knew somebody was watching.
It was that tingle you felt.
Sorry, Dr. B.
That's right. I see. There was only two of you guys that were able to see the backstage, and neither one of you saw me.
You have your picture up too, though.
It's cool.
So
Is it
what is that up? Oh, okay. Mighty Joe. Okay. The She Omnibus is a 464-page book, and we wanted to do this as a campaign with Haikyo, the follow-up, the sequel to Return of the Warrior for Haikyo. But it just seems too big of a campaign. So our She Omnibus will be released. Volume 1 will be released in February via Indiegogo. So it's going to be its own campaign for our 464-page omnibus edition. And because I just think it's really cool to be putting out a giant book like that. And I think it warrants its own campaign. So if you don't mind waiting for us, then the goal is, that book's already done. Mindy's already put it together. If depending how well Haikyo does, we might even print that book and have that book printed before we even launch. So then we could just start fulfilling as soon as the numbers come in, or after the 30 days or so.
I love me some omnibuses, Billy. My house is becoming like a library.
Yeah.
I need more big, heavy books that my wife could throw at me and really hurt me if they hit.
Well, you got one. You got one coming from your old pal Bill Tucci.
That's right. Jerry's
what a guy. What a guy.
Jerry's a That's
My wife said that. I said, "Oh, I'm going upstairs to do the Billy Tucci show." She goes, "With Jerry Tucci?" I go, "No, his brother." Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, all you guys who did it, and we have our if I may, so let's just refresh that, and then we have a let's see. Okay, so that didn't change yet. Okay, and we have our hi. Oh, let me share the screen. Hang on, I'm gonna quit out and reshare. If I I'm plugging my stuff. I don't care.
Do it.
Everyone, we have Herrenberg's in. Herrenberg, could you get the link? We have our Shihaikyo, which is our sign-up page, early birds, our sign-up page. Get our email list where you get all inside scoop. You're going to get a special insider tip, I guess, if you will. And we got a hardcover edition with a soft cover. Our very first ever, Mitch.
What?
She cosplay photo cover. I've never done a photo cover ever.
Well, now
And
you have.
Tony Brosis, and she's a beautiful she. Beautiful she. So
She is a beautiful she.
she is a beautiful. Oh yeah, she is a beautiful she. And so I'm real excited about that. So if you guys don't mind signing up for the sign up page, if you could pop that in there, thank you, and please join us.
Some people say she's the best she that ever she to she, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, brother. I know what you're
You
saying.
know who's going to come to Terrificon this year? Karen Nicole. You know Karen Nicole?
Oh, yeah. Arizona Power Girl.
Arizona Power Girl. She was supposed to be there in August, so we'll see next year. But she's really cool. Have you had her on the show?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's part of the family.
Oh, okay. She was supposed to be at this year's show because I was going to do a Power Girl panel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's great. She's really
fun.
Yeah, because I had Amanda and Jimmy there. Amanda.
That's right. They were supposed to
and I was going to put her up there and do like Power Girl stories.
And then Frank Thierry said he wanted to go.
Frank was going to be there. Yeah.
Well, next year, Mitch, it's going to be bigger than ever. Everyone's going to want these shows, and this is all going to be taken care of by then.
From your mouth to God's ears, Billy.
Well, like I said,
they're gonna have to put in another edition on the.
I know we're gonna put
convention center there.
Yeah, hopefully we can have a POPXP panel too, and maybe get Jimmy Palmiotti on that panel and Amanda with all their cool stuff that they're doing as well.
What's up, Jim Mint?
Let me tell you, I was at the store today. I almost had one of those just I don't know, what do you call it? What are we? Is this fatigue? Is pandemic fatigue?
It's called pandemic fatigue. Yep.
Pandemic mania. I was just at the grocery store with the mask on, getting stuff. The wife's at home, and I just was about to lose it because the Christmas music's playing, and then you realize that the last time you remember anything was March, and it's Christmas, and nothing's happened in the last 4 months, or 8 months, 9 months. I don't even know anymore. And I was just like, I just wanted to rip the mask off and run outside and just say, "That's it, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. You've beaten me down." But I rallied back by the time I got to the eggs and milk and was okay. But there's a brief moment in that cereal aisle that I almost started just flipping out and ripping open boxes of cereal and just throwing everything.
You just see Mitch sitting there on the floor with a gallon of milk, then pouring cereal in his mouth, just like, fuck it.
Comic convention promoter loses shit, stop and shop, and
well, if you riot, you'll be all right. Then
you don't
riot. You can do everything. You can't do anything but riot for the most part. So
you'd be one man riot.
One man dude. What a name!
Destroying all the cereal.
Nerd rage. It just gets you because we're painting the front living room this week. We just painted the kitchen and the other living room last week. I just put a new light in the hallway, and then we painted.
All you can do is work on your house.
Yeah, I like the
and then discover it's rotting away on you.
I just because I'm cheap, Billy. I don't want to spend money, so I'll do it myself. I watch videos on YouTube.
You're smart. If you can do it, you are a man. So I mean, with our house, I touched up our house, ended up painting a bunch of it, and because we had got an estimate to paint it over the summer, and they wanted $10,000.
Oh, I know, it's crazy.
$10,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm like, nah, Bill Tucci. Oh, we got to get up there on the peak. Bill Tucci's getting up on that peak.
That's right. That's right.
Man, if Mitch rioted at multiple stores, he could be a serial rioter.
I could a serial killer. I'll just start polishing off Cocoa Puffs and Tricks the Rabbit, and I'll take them all out.
Hey, don't mess with Tricks, Mitch.
I know the Cocoa Puffs guy. My friend Tom, what's his name? Larry Kinney. He's the voice of Cuckoo the Cocoa Bear, or whatever the hell.
You better understand, Mitch.
Cocoa Puffs. Well,
Yeah.
you got it bad. I just saw a tweet from Klaus Janson saying that he's had it. He's going back to. He's dressing up as Santa Claus.
Santa Claus and Gimbals. I don't have the heart to tell him there's no more Gimbals, but you could bring it. There is no Santa Claus this year for kids. They can't let the kids sit on Santa
Well, he's
Claus.
behind a plexiglass.
Well, I think it was hard for the elves to build all the toys.
They stand 20 feet away and they just do a wide fish.
Niall, we can't talk about. Let's stop talking about this.
All right, yeah, don't get me going crazy about that.
All right. Well, everyone, have a wonderful night. We will see you all again tomorrow night, and then the night after that, and after that.
Mitch, thank you so
Thanks
much
for joining us,
pal.
Oh, I wish I could have been earlier to see Kevin Eastman's goddamn computer stuff.
We all do. We all do, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I sent you that information over, so hopefully you can.
Oh, you did? Oh, you're a saint among men, or a men among saints.
He's a scholar and a gentleman, Mitch.
Let's not push it there, Evans.
and a
Let's not
gentleman.
push it.
A scholar and a gentleman.
And a judge
All right,
of a good
gentlemen.
whiskey.
Yes. What?
And a judge of a good whiskey.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sure. I got to go read about Satan. I wonder what happens at
Well,
the
good
end.
luck. I hope you have nightmares.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep too.
You guys are ridiculous.
Sorry, Blevins.
All right. Okay, I did all
Right.
right.
I didn't even get to tell my John Wesley Ship story.
Next time.
Well, we'll save it for the next time.
That's why there's future episodes.
Nobody cares about Dawson's Creek.
What does it say? I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yes,
real
it
quick. Jasper Plan 9. What perk has the Return of the Warrior book? Some tiers have page counts, some don't. Like how many pages? The book is 56 pages. The special edition books, like the black and white, the rough cut edition or the pure line edition, those are 48 pages because we have 48 pages of story. And then for the main books in the hardcover, we have an additional 8 pages of a cover gallery, if that helps. But I don't know what perk has the. I'm not quite sure I understand that, but I hope I answered your question.
Well, don't know either.
I don't know either. All right.
All
Scallywag.
right, gentlemen, have a great night. Mitch, it was great hanging out with you. And everyone, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And enjoy yourselves.
I cleaned the green room while I was back there, so it's nice and fresh.
Refill the M&Ms. Make sure there's water in the fridge.
I did. Only green M&Ms, though.
Next time, I'll talk about weird writers from celebrities on the show.
Yes.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
excellent.
I've got stories.
All right, fellas.
Fantastic. All right,
bye-bye.
we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the POPXP and over on Instagram at the POPXP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.